plus signatures to end gerrymandering. I'm Maria Aquino with details.
I'm Debbie Monterrey. After CBS News, the latest on several metro area murder cases, including last night's shooting death of a teen in South St. Louis.
I'm Tom Ackerman. In CBS News, President Trump touts his economic record and blames the Biden administration for inflation.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. A windy, mild start to the day with rain through early afternoon, then a leftover shower. Our high 58.
And in sports, the Blues got one. They shut out the Jets. The Billikens walloped Bethune-Cookman. And we hear from the new city coach and soon the new Cardinals starting pitcher.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump's take on the economy.
11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it.
He's offered a defense of his first year in office. Correspondent Linda Kenyon from the White House.
In an address to the nation, the president focused largely on blaming the Biden administration for inflation. He also said he will soon announce a new chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot.
Current Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's term expires next year. Trump has often issued personal insults against Powell, saying he's been too slow to lower interest rates.
A new CBS News poll finds concerns over money matters have a lot of people watching their wallets. CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
63% say the condition of the U.S. economy is bad. That view is also affecting how many people plan for the holidays. More than half of Americans polled say the things they buy for the holidays are somewhat or very difficult to afford.
Millions of Americans are a step closer to potentially paying even more for health care after the House approved a bill that does not extend Affordable Care Act subsidies set to expire at the end of the year. Speaker Mike Johnson.
The Lower Premiums for All Americans Act does exactly what the title suggests. It will reduce premiums for all Americans by, on average, at least 11% overall. And that's just the beginning. There will be much more to come.
4 Republicans joined Democrats to force the speaker to bring the subsidies up for a vote next month. Those GOP lawmakers still supported their party's final bill. A retired Tennessee policeman who spent time in jail for an anti-Trump meme is suing. CBS's Michael Wallace.
Larry Bushart's suit claims Perry County Sheriff violated his First and Fourth Amendment rights. He was arrested for a meme he posted after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It quoted President Trump as saying, "We have to get over it," after a school shooting in Iowa a year earlier. Bushart's arrest was caught on a body cam.
They said that something was insinuating violence. No, it wasn't.
Nick Reiner did not enter a plea during his first court appearance since his parents' murders at their home in Los Angeles Sunday. The judge postponed his arraignment until January. Reiner's lawyer, Alan Jackson.
This is a devastating tragedy that has befallen the Reiner family. We all recognize that. Our hearts go out to the entire Reiner family.
New York's Roman Catholics are getting a new archbishop. Pope Leo named a replacement for outgoing Cardinal Timothy Dolan last hour. He is fellow Chicagoan Bishop Ronald Hicks.
We're on a journey of faith to love, serve, and know God, and it leads to our salvation.
Hicks has called Pope Leo a normal guy from a normal neighborhood we grew up in. This is CBS News.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
It is 6:03 and we've got a chance of rain. It's 53 degrees and it's a windy morning. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. A teen boy is dead and St. Louis City Police are looking for a dark-colored sedan with bullet holes. The fatal shooting happened Wednesday evening around 6 near the corner of Oregon and Miami. Nearby daycare owner V. Burks spoke with our news partners at Fox 2.
It's a lot of senseless shooting going on around here. We have a lot of families. It's a holiday season and something needs to stop.
Anyone with information on the shooting is asked to call St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department or Crime Stoppers.
A Belleville man is charged with 2 counts of murder, bringing a recent major K-Squad investigation to a close in St. Clair County. Detectives followed up on 75 leads before taking 54-year-old Sean Williams into custody. Williams is accused of shooting Lania White and Bruce Mason to death in Cahokia Heights on December 12th.
Wednesday morning's double shooting at an apartment complex in Cahokia Heights drew this on-scene reaction from Cahokia Heights Police Chief Thomas Trice.
We found that there was 2 people that had been wounded by gunfire, one an adult, one a juvenile. They were taken to separate hospitals.
Police say the adult died and the juvenile survived. There were 2 crime scenes at the apartment complex with a large area taped off and evidence tags spread all over.
Ultimately, the courts are what hold them accountable for not doing their job correctly, and they're trying to get around that.
That's Missouri's former Secretary of State Jason Kander responding to Bill HB 1 being paused. The group People Not Politicians collected more than 300,000 signatures so that Missouri voters could have their voices heard.
The group wants to end partisan gerrymandering and the suspension of Republican-drawn congressional maps before next year's election. Kander says both Attorney General Catherine Hanaway and Secretary of State Denny Hoskins are weaponizing incompetence by claiming they do not know how to do their jobs.
This is the first time they've done that. And their objective for getting around that, again, is weaponized incompetence, because they know that ultimately the court is going to rule against them in all of these cases. And their hope or their aim is that at that point, they will have proceeded incompetently enough that there will be no choice but to move forward the way they want to move forward. So that's a special kind of getting away with it that I don't think we should allow.
Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
The St. Louis Board of Aldermen allocated an additional $350,000 to help nonprofit Heat Up St. Louis continue their work. Their founder says it's still not nearly enough.
Gentry Trotter, the founder of Heat Up St. Louis, is grateful for the additional funds St. Louis City has provided them, but says the need is far greater.
$2 million is the reality of trying to help people both citywide, which is this money, and both in terms of tornado a separate pot of funds.
Heat Up St. Louis helps residents keep their power and heat on during the winter and air conditioners running during the summer. Trotter says a part of why they were hoping to receive more funds is they don't have admin fees, meaning all the money they receive goes towards the people they help, not their own expenses. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Gateway Arch National Park is looking to explore how capping or moving I-44 out of the way could impact downtown. Aldermanic President Megan Green says she's been in support of this change for some time.
When the highway was put in, it really cut up downtown and it disconnected the arch from the rest of downtown.
Green is also optimistic about the park's push to expand east across the river and says she's not worried about funding for the park not going towards the city of St. Louis.
Will Metro East roads and highways suffer to bail out Chicago public transit? Critics of the newly signed Chicago area transit law argue it violates the trust of voters who supported the Safe Roads constitutional amendment. House Minority Leader Tony McComey says Chicago is raiding that money, which was explicitly promised for statewide repairs.
This law permanently diverts more than $1 billion every year from the road fund, money that was constitutionally promised to fix roads and bridges, and sends it to prop up transit operations driven by years of mismanagement.
Glen Carbon State Senator Erica Harris echoed those concerns, saying taxpayers were promised Rebuild Illinois dollars would fix bridges and water systems, not bail out Chicago.
The business desk sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. An historic property at the corner of Washington Avenue and Tucker is getting the Oliver Properties treatment. The Bogan, built in 1902, was first redeveloped into condos in the early 2000s, but only 10% of the original condos sold. Then the recession hit and the building pivoted to apartments.
Oliver Properties acquired the building in May and on Wednesday celebrated the completion of a $5 million renovation. Oliver Properties has invested more than $120 million in downtown buildings, mostly on Washington Avenue, saying 322 new residents have moved to what Alex Oliver calls downtown's Main Street over the past 18 months.
It is 6:08. We'll check traffic and weather next.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code Radio250BM and get your first bet matched as a bonus bet up to $250 whether you win or lose. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Open to new users only. Minimum odds -500. Awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 14 days after receipt. Bonus bet amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel. As the year comes to a close, I want to thank our clients, colleagues, and communities for your trust and support. We're especially proud of the Stifel U.S. Ski Team. Their drive, resilience, and pursuit of their goals this winter reminds us what's possible when we stay committed. From all of us at Stifel, we wish you and your family a joyful holiday season and a new year filled with health, happiness, and success. Stifel, where success meets success.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It is 6:10. Let's check in with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, just as we're getting ready to go on the air here, hearing a call out for EMS. First difficulty of the morning, a crash reported on northbound 67 at Buck Creek. I don't see any delays through there right now, but we'll keep watching it. 67 at Buck Creek. So watch it if you're headed into that area. It looks okay, by the way, right nearby. 55 coming into Festus in that construction zone, and 55 at Bayless in the work area there. Still fine. 270 at Ladue. Both ways still look good. Out west, eastbound 70 and 64 coming through Wentzville. No problems. And on the Illinois side of where you have the restrictions, the left lanes eastbound at the Illinois end of the Poplar and eastbound 64 through Greenmount. Again, light enough volume on this Thursday morning that they're on the go for you as well so far. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Cloudy, windy, and mild with rain at times through early afternoon, even a rumble of thunder. Mostly cloudy, breezy later this afternoon, or high 58, but temperature will drop into the mid-40s by sunset. Breezy, much colder tonight. Plenty of clouds early, then some clearing late, low 24. AccuWeather real field temperatures fall toward 10. Sunshine tomorrow, but brisk and cold, high only 40. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Windy and 53 degrees downtown at the Arch. Weather sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It is 6:12, as you heard at the top of the hour on CBS News. Pope Leo has now officially accepted the letter of resignation from St. Louis native Cardinal Timothy Dolan.
The mandatory retirement age for Catholic bishops is 75, which Cardinal Dolan hit last February 6th. While he will no longer be the Archbishop of New York once his successor is installed, Cardinal Dolan will still, however, be able to take part in a papal conclave until age 80. Cardinal Dolan already took part in 2 conclaves, in 2013 for Pope Francis and earlier this year for Pope Leo. Cardinal Dolan was installed a priest in 1976 at the age of 26 at Holy Infant Church in Baldwin.
And I loved it. I flourished. I said, this is what I've always wanted to be, a parish priest, you know, to be close to God's people.
In 1994, Monsignor Dolan was named rector of the Pontifical North American College in Rome, and then an auxiliary bishop in the St. Louis Archdiocese in 2001. In 2007, he was named Archbishop of Milwaukee before being elevated to New York Archbishop in 2009 by Pope Benedict. He was elevated to Cardinal in 2012. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The grassroots reward is up to $57,000 for information leading to the arrest of the person who set fire to cars near a Jewish family's home in Clayton.
Police say they're working with FBI agents and will be canvassing the 7500 block of Westmoreland where the arson happened August 5th. This time they have images of a person in a dark hooded sweatshirt, gray sweatpants, and black shoes with white soles. Clayton police call this an anti-Semitic hate crime investigation and have the photos posted on their website, claytonmo.gov. Brad Choate, KMOX News.
A St. Louis County man heading to prison for shooting his then-girlfriend in the legs. Federal prosecutors say 31-year-old Demetrius Vaughn has been sentenced to 54 months behind bars on a felon in possession of a gun conviction. Prosecutors say in May of 2024, Vaughn fired 6 or 7 shots from a balcony at his then girlfriend and her friends.
5 police officers injured in the line of duty. See the man responsible sent to prison.
Matthew Jones admitted in court that he failed to yield to emergency lights on I-70 before slamming into a police blockade. This was in March of 2023. The impact injured 5 officers from Lake St. Louis and from St. Charles County, 3 of them seriously enough to require surgery. Jones admitted he had both fentanyl and marijuana in his system at the time. He also had his 2-year-old daughter in the back seat. She suffered minor injuries. A judge accepted the plea deal and sentenced Jones to 10 years behind bars. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Yeah, I think it was more the guys. They had a grade that's been an emphasis of ours as of late to win the net fronts, and yeah, we were great at boxing. I saw most pucks tonight, and yeah, they did a great job.
That was Joel Hofer last night, giving credit to the players in front of him after recording a shutout. 24 saves for Hofer in a 1-0 win over the Winnipeg Jets. Hofer was pretty good himself, though.
All wins are nice. Yeah, it's obviously nice to beat them, and they've obviously become a rival of ours, and that was tough the last time we played them. So yeah, that was extra motivation for us, and yeah, it's just good that we get the win the night.
Hofer, very good. He played on back-to-back nights. Do the Blues have a goalie controversy brewing here? Nah, not so much. I think the Blues are looking to see what Hofer can give them on consecutive starts. And if needed, could he handle the load to be the number one goaltender? The number one goaltender, make no mistake about it, is still Jordan Binnington, and he will start tonight against the New York Rangers. It's a 7 o'clock start at Enterprise Center, but a good win for the Blues nonetheless, and for Hofer. 1-0 over a Winnipeg team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year. With that win, the Blues jump over Winnipeg and Chicago into 5th place in the Central Division. In the Western Conference playoff race, they are 4 points out of that final playoff spot. The St. Louis Billikens, my goodness, did they put a hurting on Bethune-Cookman last night? Take a listen.
Center circle, turns the corner, down the lane, turns into traffic, got it stripped, got it stolen, got it back, then lobs it up for Otieno, jam time.
Yes. Paul jams it for the C-note. 101-49.
Yeah, you heard that right. 101-49 at that point. They won it 112-53 over Bethune-Cookman last night at Chaffetz Arena. The Billikens improved to 10-1 on the season. This is the first time in school history that they have had 3, now 4 100-point games in a season. Folks, they've only played 11 games. They're 10-1 on the year. Coach Josh Schertz visiting with our broadcasters. Bob Ramsey, Earl Austin Jr.
Not awesome the first few minutes, but I thought we settled in and played some really good basketball, made some shots, and then I thought we really got going and got turned up, and I thought our defense was terrific, and that really fueled everything for us. Obviously, we made shots tonight. We've 17 threes, and that's going to happen. We have a good enough shooting team.
Yeah.
Those nights are going to come, but and I don't, it's like, you try not to overreact to shooting variance. The nights where you're 5 for 27. As long as the process is good, you can live with the results, right? Like we talked about, fool's gold process, real process. Tonight I thought we had a great process. We got great shots. I thought we made shots, but I thought our defense and our rebounding really fueled a ton of what we were doing.
Big time win for the Billikens by 59 points. They next host New Hampshire on Sunday. Mizzou will play Illinois in the bragging rights game on Monday at Enterprise Center. Mizzou, by the way, beat that same Bethune-Cookman team by 22. Dustin May and the Cardinals have an official agreement. The free agent right-handed pitcher gets a 1-year contract for 2026. It's worth $12.5 million. There's a mutual option for $20 million in 2027. We'll hear from new coach Yohan DeMay for St. Louis City SC. Let's get to know him and find out from Sporting Director Corey Ray why they went in that direction. That's on the way at 6:22. This is the home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Listen up, Missouri. If you haven't heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is rolling in the Show Me State, and they are kicking things off with an offer that is really tough to beat. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether you're betting football or basketball or hockey or whatever it is, you can do it all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Download the FanDuel app today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement, because it has been a lot of fun since it's been live and rolling in the state of Missouri. It is time to play your game with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's chicken pot pie, the best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Now the news. At 1, the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 6:21. Let's check in with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, in the last report I mentioned, an injury crash report at northbound 67 at Buck Creek. They do have a lane shut down there. There's a little bit of a delay, and they're also reporting a possible crash near Meyer Road. I don't see really much in the way of delays there, just folks waiting at the signals, but a little bit more of a jam approaching Buck Creek, where, again, they have a lane closed for that injury crash. Northbound 55, a little busy briefly north of Highway A. The right lanes are slow, Butler Hill up to 270, and all lanes are bogged down now on North 55, Bayless up to River to Pear. North 270 from 55 up to Gravois and at Ladue look good. A little slowdown indicated southbound 61 before you get to Wentzville Parkway. And downtown eastbound across the Poplar, still not bad. And 64 through Greenmount eastbound still looks good. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
From our family at Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation to yours. Happy holidays. You want to hurry this up, Mark? I'm freezing my baguettes off.
Relax, Grandpa. Air Comfort Service is on their way. Aubrey, you're not doing anything. You want to let me know when they get here?
Honey, her eyes are frozen shut. Plus,
avoid a 5-alarm emergency with an HVAC system check from Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Learn more at aircomfortservice.com.
That rain right now is around Warrenton and Wentzville. We're keeping an eye on that. We are going to get some rain, says AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. In fact, he says we could even see a thunderstorm in spots today, and temperatures will fall from a high of 58 down into the mid-40s, and tonight, freezing temperatures. A low of 24 will feel like 10 with the wind, and then tomorrow, sunny, brisk, and cold, a high near 40. It's 53 right now. Let's get to know new City SC coach, Yohan DeMay, and let's start by hearing Corey Ray, the sporting director, give reasons as to why they selected the 35-year-old Frenchman, formerly with the Columbus Crew, with LA Galaxy, and he was once interim coach of Cincinnati FC.
The first is the person. So Yohan possesses a really warm personality. He's a great human being. He's someone that I know and trust from our time together. And he's someone that I think will be a very clear communicator with not only you guys, but the staff and also the players. And I think that deep down is someone that I can trust will maintain a calm head in the good and the bad. I've always get told when you are appointing a coach, make sure it's someone that you can work with 23 of the 24 hours a day. And I think so far, so good. come back in 6 months, but I'm pretty sure we'll be okay as well. The second thing is the club. So in terms of the vision for the club and the sporting leadership, we're looking for someone to sit and work alongside of all the other departments that we'll be building out. The ability to incorporate and use data in their coaching preparations, understanding how to incorporate different opinions from scouts and external evaluators of talent, how to use the performance department to the best of their abilities, incorporating that into its day-to-day preparations, and in general, creating a collaborative experience for all members of staff to highlight their skills at the table together was very important. The last part is the coach. He's a very open-minded, modern thinker when it comes to the game. He's able to evolve with the trends and changes very quickly. He seeks out new ideas, but he has, in theory, a very clear and very strong idea of how he sees the game and how he wants to play. And I think that will translate very well, given the other skills I just spoke about, to the players and obviously the rest of the club very quickly.
That's Corey Ray, the sporting director for St. Louis City SC. Here is Yohan Demay. He's 35 years old. He's actually been coaching since he was 16. He used to coach youth soccer teams back in the day. He is very well respected in Major League Soccer, and it appears St. Louis is getting him on the rise. Remember, he could have chosen his destination. He chose St. Louis.
I think the main thing that makes the project is the people, and meeting ownership, meeting Diego, knowing a lot about Corey, is definitely something that's having that vision of alignment definitely had a big attraction to me. When you look at the fan base, there's not many teams that can say they have the fan base that there is here in St. Louis. So I was for the first time at the stadium earlier this season, and it was amazing to see the atmosphere at the stadium. The resources, when you see the facilities and the stadium we've got, there is no better places to come and start a new project and actually have all the tools and resources to help the team in terms of what you want to implement.
And he looks forward to working with the people at St. Louis City SC.
I'm really excited to take that step to bring the vision of the club to fruition. That's my goal. That's why I'm here. I'm excited to work with Corey. What I've seen through the process is great people with a great vision and also a big will for alignment. And that's what we're trying to bring here together. I'm excited to be a part of that. And I'm excited to get working with the players as well.
What is his preferred style of play?
I want to bring a proactive approach with and without the ball. I want us to be a high pressing team. I want us to be more on the front foot as well with the ball, controlling more of the game. But I want these two things to be rooted in clarity and process. So there is a need for clarity for the players in terms of expectation when we're attacking and when we're defending. So that clarity will be able to also hold the players accountable, hold ourselves as a staff accountable, and have a clear direction that we want to follow, and that can allow us to evaluate, assess, and probably readjust as well.
I was there yesterday at Energizer Park. He's very impressive, Yohan Demay, and he was asked about the past issues that this team has had in losing, especially the last couple of years. He said, we're not dwelling on the past. We're here to build. And he said, this is about winning. You want to entertain the crowd, you got to win. And he is looking forward to doing just that here in St. Louis. Yohan Demay, the new coach of St. Louis City SC. It's 6:27. Time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ETHOS.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you're drowning
drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay? Then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Hey, St. Louis City SC fans, mark your calendars now. The Boys in Red return to Energizer Park to kick off Season 4 Saturday, February 21st. And you could be there for the dawn of a new golden era of St. Louis soccer. Go to stlcitysc.com/tickets and reserve your seat now for the MLS home opener versus Charlotte FC. Limited quantities remain. See you soon, St. Louis.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
This is one of the most important Cardinals off seasons ever as the club heads into a new era under President of Baseball Operations Chaim Bloom, and the Countdown to Opening Day show is here for you. Which players will be back? Who will be traded? And what new names will be joining the roster? Which prospects are ready to take a big step? Join Mike Claiborne and me, Matt Pauley, and our many guests as we take you from the hot stove all the way through spring training.
Catch the Countdown to Opening Day show, Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m.
On the home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 6:30, and right now it's windy out there. 53 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Roger Brands of the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, they're still working this crash on northbound 67 at Buck Creek. They have a lane blocked, so one lane getting through. The jam's about midway back to Meyer Road now on northbound 67, bumper to bumper through there. Once you get on 55, it looks good down south. It is a little slow approaching Madison. The right lane's not that big of a deal, and there is a slowdown from Bayless up to almost Loughborough now on northbound 55, but it's not a jam, just a slowdown. A little busy passing Doherty Ferry and then Clayton Road up to Ladue on North 270. Southbound 61 definitely busier from Highway P. You're off the pace down on the 64 to Lake St. Louis Boulevard. East of there, though, you're good to go. Eastbound 70 still looks great from Wentzville across the Blanchette Bridge. Downtown, seeing a little bit of a slowdown westbound on the Poplar. Eastbound 64 running through Greenmount still looks okay. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Today should be interesting. Windy and mild with rain at times through early afternoon, maybe even a thunderstorm in spots. It's going to be a mostly cloudy, breezy afternoon and a high of 58 degrees. But then things start turning colder in the afternoon with temperatures dropping into the mid-40s. By tomorrow, mostly sunny and we'll have a high near 40. Right now, we are over that. It's 53 degrees downtown.
It's official. St. Louis native Timothy Dolan is retiring as Archbishop of New York. Cardinal Dolan has led the Archdiocese of New York for 16 years. Brooklyn resident Teresa Start.
When he gives a sermon, you feel like he's speaking to you personally. So, it's wonderful. I'll miss him.
Pope Leo has named Bishop Ronald Hicks of Joliet, Illinois, to succeed Dolan.
Governor Mike Kehoe says he plans to concentrate on public safety and economic development in the upcoming Missouri legislative session. Kehoe tells MissouriNet his office plans to roll out a second public safety proposal as well as a dramatic proposal for economic development.
Several things that will continue in the public safety realm. As you know, that was a big push for us last year. We've got kind of a Safer Missouri 2.0 for next year. Economic development issues that we have. The main one of those will be we'll be presenting a proposal to eliminate the Missouri state income tax.
Kehoe calls that proposal responsible and claims his office will propose eliminating the state income tax by using other methods to fund state services. The legislative session begins January 7th in Jefferson City.
Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson says vehicle makers have turned cars into data harvesting machines. He's reintroduced legislation that he says would ban car makers from accessing or selling vehicle data without explicit written consent from the owner.
Vehicle data can be used to target consumers, raise insurance rates, or be sold to third parties without transparency.
Burleson says manufacturers can collect and make money from location data, driving behavior, as well as facial and fingerprint recognition.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. At 6:33, we'll check traffic and weather coming up. Also, coming up, we'll have your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Not now, but we'll give you your cue to win. So keep listening to Total Information AM.
We're coming up on Christmas very quickly here. Christmas has been and always has been a religious holiday for a lot of people throughout the world. And if not religious, just a celebration for family and friends. It's also the time of year where, while you might be enjoying or you like the holidays, there's people that are suffering, which this time of year is a really, really hard time of year for them. There's people that are suffering this Christmas because this could be their first Christmas without their loved one, husband, wife, mother, father, child, or their second, third, fourth, 10th, 12th Christmas. So for every one of us that believe in God, and we do pray, remember that in your prayers daily, and hopefully that helps and makes a difference and makes it a little bit better in somebody's life that is suffering right now. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. God bless.
It is 6:35 and time for your money report, sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, elder law attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The White House is set to announce drug pricing deals with pharmaceutical heavyweights Novartis and Roche as soon as tomorrow. Sources tell us other drug makers could also be included in the announcement. Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and other companies have struck deals with the Trump administration in recent months, agreeing to lower prices in certain instances in return for relief from tariffs. Taking a look at your money, stocks are rebounding from yesterday's losses. S&P futures are up 25 points, Dow futures rising 60. The largest maker of computer memory chips gave an upbeat forecast. Surging demands and supply shortages are allowing Micron Technology to charge more for its products. Shares of Micron surging in pre-market trading. And people are snapping up pricey shoes from Birkenstock. The company reported higher sales and profit on strong demand for its sandals and clogs. However, it is predicting a slower pace of growth for the year ahead. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Christmas has arrived at Chesterfield Valley Nursery with hundreds of Christmas trees and our winter greens. Visit our garden center for your live holiday decor, from garland to poinsettias to custom live wreaths made right here at Chesterfield Valley Nursery. Open to the public, everyone is welcome. Stop by 16825 North Outer 40 Road in Chesterfield, directly past the popular entertainment district. Visit ChesterfieldValleyNursery.com.
This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Get ready for Thursday night football as the Rams face the Seahawks.
Seitan Cancer Center game time 6:30. Seitan Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Rams, the Seahawks, Thursday night football on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 6:39. President Trump's primetime address last night touted economic progress not all voters are feeling.
President Trump has given a politically charged primetime speech to the nation, insisting the economy's stronger than many voters feel. Flanked by Christmas trees in the White House, the president quickly laid blame for economic challenges on his predecessor.
I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it.
While announcing he's sending bonus checks of nearly $1,800 to troops for Christmas.
A special we call Warrior Dividend.
But the roughly 18-minute speech largely rehashed old messaging that has yet to ease public anxiety about higher prices. A president who promised an economic boom has seen inflation remain elevated and the job market weakening sharply, partly due to his tariffs. Still, he stayed defiant.
I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast.
Though the consumer price index is rising at an annual rate of 3%, up from 2.3% in April. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Let's get the update on your ride in. Roger Brands in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, just after we last spoke, they cleared that crash northbound 67 at Buck Creek. They cleared it to the shoulder anyway. I heard them open up the traffic lane. There's still a bit of a jam up there midway back to Meyer Road on northbound 67 because we're getting more volume, and I think folks are slowing to look at the crash on the shoulder. Northbound 55, a little slowdown north of Highway A. You've got heavy traffic from the Union Road overpass almost all the way up to Holly Hills. Northbound 270, Sappington to Gravois is slow. North of Big Bend to Manchester and approaching Clayton Road up to Ladue is busy. Southbound 61 slows down north of Highway P onto 64 up through the Lake St. Louis Boulevard area. This traffic report is a service of Pine Valley Assisted Living. It doesn't look bad for Illinois drivers unless you're headed to the Poplar. A little more volume there. Westbound 64, west of 3rd Street to the bridge. Eastbound 64, still looking okay through Greenmount. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Looking for a beautiful, all-inclusive place for your loved one? Happy holidays from Pine Valley Assisted Living. Secure a room between now and January 31st and take advantage of our move-in special. Enjoy affordable rates with absolutely no hidden fees. Experience the beautiful life at Pine Valley. Visit rspseniorliving.com today.
It is 6:41, and let's check in with Joe Lundberg, our AccuWeather meteorologist. It does just seem windy out there. Do you think we're going to see some rain downtown?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm looking at the radar right now, Debbie, and there are some showers in the northwest suburbs. They're really more numerous out toward Jefferson City, out toward Kansas City, and up into portions of Iowa. And that's all shifting eastward as a cold front approaches from the west. So scattered showers over the next couple of hours, really not much at all, but I'd say for the rest of the morning commute. But then as we go toward late morning and into the midday and early afternoon hours, there'll be a few hours where it will actually rain. There might be a rumble of thunder. But then the front comes through, and that dries things out, and that says goodbye to the warm weather. We go from 58 for a high this morning down into the mid-40s by day's end. Lots of clouds early tonight, then it clears late tonight. Breezy, much, much colder by morning. We're down to 24, and those real field temperatures drop toward 10. Bright sunshine tomorrow, but cold. Our high just 40. Some sunshine Saturday, breezy, warmer, the high 56. Colder with sunshine Sunday, the high in the low 40s. Upper 40s on Monday, partly sunny, and I think we're in the 50s Tuesday. Maybe 60s on Christmas Eve. Right now it's 57 in St. Peter's, 55 in Florissant, cloudy 56 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
All right, thank you, Joe. It is 6:43, and the FBI's deputy director is stepping down.
Dan Bongino says he'll resign next month, ending a brief and sometimes rocky tenure. His departure, which is one of the highest-profile resignations of the Trump administration, was not completely unexpected. President Trump seemed to give him his blessing.
Dan did a great job. I think he wants to go back to his show.
Bongino, who had no previous experience in the FBI, was a conservative podcast host where he often criticized the agency. While at the FBI, he clashed with the Justice Department over issues including the handling of the Epstein files. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The departure leaves former Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey as the second in command at the FBI. Missouri's current attorney general launching a crackdown on the companies behind those cryptocurrency kiosks found in gas stations and convenience stores. Catherine Hanaway announced a statewide investigation into 5 major operators, including Bitcoin Depot and CoinFlip. Hanaway says the machines are often used to hide devastating scams and maybe hitting consumers with deceptive hidden fees. Her office issued a civil investigative demand to the company to determine if they're violating consumer protection laws. As the Kansas City Chiefs continue negotiations to possibly move from Missouri to Kansas, the Chicago Bears are making news with a push to build a new stadium that may not be in Illinois. We get more from Terry Keschner.
Bears team president and CEO Kevin Warren has sent a letter to fans saying the team needs to expand its search for a new stadium site beyond just Arlington Heights. The Bears now say they are considering the wider Chicago region, including Northwest Indiana. The Bears own the site of the former Arlington Park racetrack in Arlington Heights, but last year the team pivoted toward a new stadium along Chicago's lakefront, then leaned back toward Arlington Heights. The issue is always the same, getting taxpayer money to help fund the project. A statement from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's office says suggesting the Bears would move to Indiana is a slap in the face to fans.
Want to guess which American sports franchises are worth the most money? Forbes has released its annual list of the most valuable.
There's no change at the top in 2025. Touchdown, Dallas! For a 10th straight year, the Dallas Cowboys are number one, valued at $13 billion, followed by the Golden State Warriors at $11 billion, the New York Giants at $10.1 billion, the Los Angeles Lakers at $10 billion, and the New York Knicks at $9.75 billion. Just 6 years ago, the Cowboys were valued at $5 billion. Now, $5 billion wouldn't get a team into the top 50. Forbes credits the huge media rights deals sports leagues have signed. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Hey, right after Tom's Next Sports, we're going to give away those Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets. So be listening for the music to call in and win.
Billiken basketball off and running last night. They wasted no time beating up on Bethune-Cookman. Take a listen.
Jones up top, screened by Otieno. Jones drives, dishes, got deflected, but Green catches, steps back for three, bang! The Trey.
Trey getting some nice looks, much to his liking. His second from basically that same spot on the floor in the corner.
15-4 Bill.
Trey Green, he had 19 points in the game yesterday. He was one of 7 Billikens in double figures as they annihilate Bethune-Cookman 112-53, a 59-point win. Keep in mind that this same Bethune-Cookman team just came over from Columbia and they lost to Mizzou by 22. SLU puts a thumping on them. Also in double figures, Dion Brown with 16, Ishan Sharma with 14, Paul Otieno with 13, Brady Dunlap with 12, Quentin Jones with 10, Amari McCautry with 10. Where was Robbie Avila, you say? He had 8. Where was Kellen Thames, you ask? He was sick, missed the game, and the Billikens still put a whooping on Bethune-Cookman. In fact, this is 4 100-point games for SLU, the most in their history for one season, and they've only played 11 games. They are 10-1. The Blues won last night, 1-0 over the Winnipeg Jets. They do it with great goaltending and great defense, and a defensive style of play. They played a physical style against Winnipeg, 24 saves for a great performer in Joel Hofer, and it's expected that Jordan Bennington will get the assignment in net tonight as the Blues take on the New York Rangers at 7 o'clock. The Cardinals officially announced the Dustin May deal. It's a one-year deal for $12.5 million, mutual option for 2027 that's worth $20 million. We're expecting to hear from May later today. As for City SC, they introduced their new coach, Yoann DeMay. You heard him talking at 6:22, and we'll dive back into that a little bit more from DeMay at 7:15. I'm Tom Ackerman on the Voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
Hey, you know what this time means? This little pause brought to you by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Yeah, they're coming to, I know this is a shock. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is playing at Christmas time? No, tell me it's not so. They'll be at Enterprise Center December 23rd for a 3 p.m. show. They have other shows too, but we've got the tickets for the 3 p.m. show. If you are caller number 5 and you can go to this show, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Enterprise Center, December 23rd, 3 p.m., call right now at 314-955-1120. 314-955-1120. Caller number 5 gets the tickets.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
Winterfest is back for the 10th year in Keener Plaza, now through January 11th. Enjoy Winterfest traditions, including ice skating, s'mores, and igloos underneath 100,000 twinkling lights in the shadow of the Gateway Arch. Grab a bite or drink from downtown favorites and enjoy a family-friendly New Year's Eve fireworks spectacular. Winterfest, hosted by Gateway Arch Park Foundation, presented by Bank of America and Worldwide Technology. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM. The news continues on 104.1 FM KMOX.
All right, let's check the roadways with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we just got a little bit of a slowdown now, Debbie. Northbound 67 at Buck Creek, where we had that earlier injury crash. Northbound 55A midway up to McNutt is slow. After that, you've got a backup from Bayless up to Weber, but it remains busy up through Virginia. North 270 approaching Tesson Ferry through Gravois. Big Bend up through Manchester, approaching Clay Road up to Ladue, a couple of spots. South 270 south of Olive to Ladue is a little slow. Eastbound 70 coming through Highway Z and approaching Lake St. Louis Boulevard is kind of busy as well. Southbound 61, Highway P down on the 64 to Lake St. Louis Boulevard. There's a lot of heavy traffic there. On the Illinois side, westbound 64, west of 3rd Street to the Poplars busy. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Well, this weather is going to be a little strange over the next 24 hours because we're going to hit 58 today, but by tonight it's going to feel like 10. In between there, we're going to get colder this afternoon with temperatures falling into the mid-40s. We will see some rain at times through early afternoon, maybe even a thunderstorm in spots. It'll stay breezy tonight, Temperatures falling to 24, feeling like 10. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny, brisk, and cold, and a high near 40. Currently, it's 53 in downtown St. Louis. We have a winner.
We do. It's Ken from Fenton. So congratulations to Ken. And we have one more pair to give away. We'll do that tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. It's 6:53. And the news continues on Total Information AM on KMOX.
A Wednesday morning shooting at a Metro East apartment complex drew a large police presence. Sean Malone was on the scene.
First calls came into the Cahokia Heights Police Department at around 10:15 a.m. for a shooting at the 200 block of Miller Court. Police Chief Dr. Thomas Trice tells us what they saw when they arrived.
We found that there was 2 people that had been wounded by gunfire, one an adult, one a juvenile. They were taken to separate hospitals.
Now, taking a look at the crime scene, there is 2 sections of clusters of apartment buildings, 2-story buildings, that are taped off by police with evidence markers spread out throughout them. And Chief Trice telling me that there are at least 2 crime scenes within the area they have taped off. In Cahokia Heights, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Cahokia Heights police confirm a father was killed, a juvenile wounded. Officers are speaking to persons of interest, but wouldn't say if they believe one of them is the alleged shooter.
A mail thief caught with letters belonging to more than 70 people has been sentenced to over 3 years in prison. Miranda Burgess of Franklin County pleaded guilty to bank fraud and aggravated identity theft after being investigated by Arnold police and postal inspectors. Authorities say Burgess used the stolen personal information to target an elderly woman, draining her accounts. The judge noted that her crimes disrupted the lives of dozens of residents who never received their mail.
Some White House close-ups are causing a stir.
The Vanity Fair photographer who snapped gritty close-ups of top Trump administration officials is defending his shoot, specifically an image of White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. An extreme close-up on the magazine's Instagram account appears to show injection marks dotting the 28-year-old's upper lip, a telltale sign of fillers. Photog Christopher Anderson, who's known for his raw shots, says he tries to cut through the image politics wants to project and get at something more truthful. An accompanying Vanity Fair interview with Chief of Staff Susie Wiles caused an uproar on both sides of the political aisle. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Anderson's portraits have also been published in the New York Times, Esquire, and the Wall Street Journal.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
Sponsored for you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. Happy birthday wishes going out to Sherry McClelland, Judy Dockery, Aaron McMaster. Happy birthday from the Kluges, Parker Holthouse. Happy golden birthday. It's his 18th today. And happy birthday wishes going out to Brenda Boyd.
And to our friend down the hall, Kim St. Ange, celebrating a birthday today at 6:56.
This is the best birthday ever.
Heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is live here in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that is really tough to beat. So right now, new customers can bet $5 and then get $300 in bonus bets. Whether you win or lose that initial $5 bet, you get those $300 bonus bets either direction. And it doesn't matter what you're choosing. Whether it's football, basketball, hockey, you can bet it all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. I've been on it since the app launched years ago. I just couldn't play in Missouri until now. Now I get to, and you can do. So download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to join in on the excitement, because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel. Remember, 21 and older and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
For residential and commercial heating repairs, service, maintenance, or installation, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. With over 50 years of HVAC service, get in your comfort zone this winter. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products or compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Let's check in with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, we got some trouble now on northbound 270, just south of Doherty Ferry. It looks like we have a crash. Northbound 270 starting to back up as you get through 44, so just be prepared. It's still slow north of there up to Manchester. And downtown, westbound 64, you got slow traffic approaching the Poplar. Next update at 7:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is Thursday, December the 18th. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
I'm Sean Malone. Heat Up St. Louis will receive an additional $350,000 from the city of St. Louis to help across the city. But is that enough? I've got that story coming up.
I'm Tom Ackerman. A teen is dead in South St. Louis, the latest homicide victim in the city. Details after CBS News.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Windy and mild for a while with rain at times into early afternoon, even a thunderstorm. Our high reaches 58.
We will soon hear from new Cardinals pitcher Dustin May. Yesterday, we heard from new city coach Yoan DeMay. And the Blues and Billikens both win. Sports at 7:15.
100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition, sponsored by CVS Health.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Are you ready for it?
We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen.
President Trump's prediction in a speech to the nation from the Oval Office that touched on everything from the economy to immigration to housing.
In the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history.
CBS News Chief Washington Analyst Robert Costa.
It's not only a strategy, it's a reaction. Think about what the Democrats did in those recent elections in Virginia, New Jersey, New York City with Zohran Mamdani, talking about the issue of affordability. And President Trump believes his record, especially in using tariffs and trade policy to affect the economy, have been successful.
The president also announced plans for a $1,776 warrior dividend for some military members. Rob and Michelle Reiner's son has made his first court appearance in their murders. CBS's Jonathan Bigliotti has details from Los Angeles.
Nick Reiner did not yet enter a plea. He is due back in court January 7th to be arraigned. He's being held currently without bond. If convicted of first-degree murder, he could potentially face life in prison without the possibility of parole or even the death penalty.
Still no sign of a suspect in Saturday's mass shooting that killed 2 students at Brown University. Investigators have released new images of a second person who they say may know something about the gunman. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley gets local sentiment.
Their frustration is valid. I feel the same frustration, and my neighbors feel the same frustration. I'm in no way discounting that. I understand that.
A former FBI agent tells CBS News the shooter could still be in the area trying to evade police. Torrential rain in the Pacific Northwest has given way to damaging winds. They brought a giant tree down on Ashley Rowley's house in Spanaway, Washington. She wasn't there, but her 2 teenagers and the family's 7 dogs were.
He walks out of his room and he said that it just came through and he just didn't know what to do. So he went and got his sister. But they did carry each dog out one by one. They're a lot braver than me.
One man was killed when a tree fell on his home near the Idaho-Washington border while he was sleeping. Forbes has just released its annual list of the most valuable sports teams. Correspondent Michael Wallace takes a look.
There's no change at the top in 2025.
Touchdown,
Dallas. For a 10th straight year, the Dallas Cowboys are number one, valued at $13 billion, followed by the Golden State Warriors at $11 billion, the New York Giants at $10.1 billion, the Los Angeles Lakers at $10 billion, and the New York Knicks at $9.75 billion.
Dow futures are up 76. This is CBS News.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's chicken pot pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
It is 7:04, and right now we've got 53 degrees. I still don't see any rain downtown, but as Joe Lundberg says, it is in the area and on the way, but it is a windy morning. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. A male in his early teens has died after being shot Wednesday evening in South St. Louis. Police spokesperson Mitch McCoy told our news partners at Fox 2 it happened around 6 near the corner of Oregon and Miami.
We are looking for a dark-colored sedan that has ballistic damage to that vehicle. Anyone that sees possibly a dark-colored sedan or vehicle with ballistic damage is urged to call 911 immediately.
That shooting is possibly connected to an earlier one also in South City.
A Belleville man charged with 2 counts of murder, bringing a recent major K-Squad investigation to a close in St. Clair County. Detectives followed up on 75 leads before taking 54-year-old Sean Williams into custody. Williams is accused of shooting Lanaya White and Bruce Mason to death in Cahokia Heights on December 12th.
Heat Up St. Louis is getting a shot in the arm from the city, but is it enough?
The Board of Aldermen passed a bill allocating an additional $350,000 to support Heat Up's efforts to help residents keep the heat and electric on. Founder Gentry Trotter is thankful for the funding, but says it's only a portion of what they need.
We need money because we're in the field. We need money because we have 4 locations. We're in need of money because we have thousands of applications that come over on our heatupstlouis.org website. We need money because of our hotline tells us the need.
Trotter says they need about $2 million to fully meet the need they see. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The battle over who's right and who's wrong continues in the process to redraw congressional maps in Missouri. Former Secretary of State Jason Kander.
As for now, the bill has been paused. Former Missouri Secretary of State Jason Kander says they are drawing this out for a reason.
I would definitely not chalk it up to the typical political nature of the AG's office. There have been some pretty political attorneys general in this state.
Retired Missouri Supreme Court Chief Justice Michael Wolff tells KMOX the question is, how should this redistricting bill be implemented so that the people have their say?
We want to make ballot language clear and understandable. We want to make access to the people's supremacy in proposing or refusing or rejecting things done by the General Assembly.
Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Word from the Vatican this morning, Pope Leo has now officially accepted the letter of resignation from St. Louis native New York Archbishop Cardinal Timothy Dolan. KMOX religion editor Fred Bottomer reports.
Cardinal Dolan hit the church's mandatory retirement age when he turned 75 last February 6th. While he will no longer be the Archbishop of New York once his successor is installed, Cardinal Dolan will still, however, be able to take part in a papal conclave until age 80. Cardinal Dolan already took part in 2 conclaves, in 2013 for Pope Francis and earlier this year for Pope Leo. Cardinal Dolan was ordained a priest in 1976 at the age of 26 at Holy Infant Church in Baldwin.
People were together. They knew one another. They loved one another. They grew up together. Look, they come back here. This is a neighborhood where people stick around.
In 1994, Monsignor Dolan was named rector of the Pontifical North American College in Rome. and then an auxiliary bishop in the St. Louis Archdiocese in 2001. In 2007, he was named Archbishop of Milwaukee before being named New York Archbishop in 2009 by Pope Benedict. He was elevated to a cardinal in 2012. Fred Bodimer, KMOX News.
From the business desk, sponsored by Krenz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, a Missouri native leading the investment group buying the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's David Hoffman of the Hoffman family of companies, who has been working to turn the Augusta area into the Napa Valley of the Midwest and has been trying to buy the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and increase his stake in Lee Enterprises. The sale of the Penguins by the Fenway Sports Group was reported by hockey insider Frank Saravalli. Hoffman, who grew up in Washington, Missouri, also purchased Oberweis Dairy out of bankruptcy last year.
We'll check on the Blues at 7:15. Traffic and weather next at 7:08.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. The Saliga family's been taking great care of St. Louis since 1927 and still have the best and most trustworthy customer service in town. Saliga can handle all of your heating and air conditioning needs for home or business. They offer free estimates and financing options, and they won't leave you hanging if there's an emergency. The Miklas family's been calling on Saliga for more than 15 years, and we fully appreciate their knowledge, their class, and their integrity. Saliga's never tried to pressure us. They always take the time to discuss all the available options, including low-cost solutions. Saliga has saved us good money with their Priority Club maintenance program, which extends the life of our equipment. Members receive priority service and the peace of mind in knowing their home will be safe and comfortable during all 4 seasons. The Miklas family truly values Saliga Heating and Cooling, and you will too. For more information, call Saliga at 314-481-7333 or visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. 2025 was a turning point for America. House Republicans didn't just talk about the challenges facing our country, we delivered real solutions. I was proud to stand beside President Trump to deliver historic tax cuts, secure our border, and eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse in the government. This year, my office helped constituents by solving over 500 cases and returning to them nearly $1.8 million. I'm Congressman Bob Onder, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives. This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
7:10. Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, they made quick work of that incident we had. I couldn't tell if it was a stall or a crash. North 270 before Doherty Ferry. It's gone. North 270 is just a little slow as you ramp on from 55. Approaching 44, Doherty Ferry up through Manchester, and then it's back on the go. South 270 heading into the work zone at Ladue looks great. Eastbound 70, a little slow through the Bryan Road area. Southbound 61, still pretty busy coming down from just south of Highway P onto 64 at Lake St. Louis Boulevard. But after that, you're all clear. You're good to go there. Northbound 55 looks great in Festus and north of Bayless. Downtown, believe it or not, for the time being, is pretty well cleared out. Just a little slow on the Poplar Street Bridge, so even better shape there, and it still looks okay. Eastbound 64 headed through Greenmount Road, so a pretty good run right now, sort of a lull in the traffic so far. Next update at 7:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Time to get you updated on the forecast, and our AccuWeather meteorologist says we are going to see some pretty nice weather today.
KMOX AccuWeather, a windy, mild day today. Rain at times through early afternoon, even a thunderstorm in spots. Mostly cloudy, breezy later this afternoon, or high 58, but temperature will drop into the mid-40s by day's end. Breezy, much colder tonight. Clouds early, then some clearing late, low 24. AccuWeather real field temperatures fall toward 10. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, brisk and cold, high 40. Saturday, partly sunny, breezy, and milder in the afternoon, high 56. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it's still windy out there. I don't see any rain downtown, but the temperatures are holding steady at 53 degrees.
It's 7:12. Cahokia Heights police say there is no existing threat to the community after a father was killed and a child wounded in a Wednesday morning shooting. It happened around 10:15 at an apartment complex in the 200 block of Miller Court. Family members say the adult victim was identified as 36-year-old Demario Johnson. Some persons of interest were taken into custody for questioning.
Prosecutors say a 10-year prison sentence is the only appropriate outcome for a crash that could have killed 5 officers.
Matthew Jones admitted in court that he was driving on I-70 with a cocktail of drugs in his system and his 2-year-old daughter in the back seat. Blood tests confirmed the 34-year-old was positive for both fentanyl and THC when he ignored emergency lights and slammed into a police blockade in March of 2023. Police also found a handgun and more fentanyl inside his Jeep. Prosecutor Melissa Price-Smith says it is good that the defendant finally took responsibility for the reckless actions that seriously injured officers from Lake St. Louis and St. Charles County departments. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
With near misses at airports making headlines, Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth is warning the FAA is running out of luck. She spoke during a Senate Aviation Subcommittee hearing, saying relying on overworked civil servants to keep the skies safe is unsustainable.
As I warned over the past few years, as near misses piled up and our safety margins got shredded, our luck would eventually run out.
Duckworth is pushing for an additional $20 billion to help rebuild the workforce and modernize the technology.
Whether you know it or not, newer vehicles can track where you drive, how you drive, as well as store facial and fingerprint information. Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson has reintroduced a bill that aims to stop car makers from collecting and selling the personal data of drivers without permission.
When personal vehicle data is widely shared, it becomes vulnerable to hackers, data brokers, and foreign actors.
Industry projections estimate car manufacturers could make as much as $750 billion by selling that vehicle data by 2030.
This is Blues goaltender Joel Hofer.
Just grateful. Every day here is a great day, and whether I'm playing or not, it's it's a great opportunity, and it's a blessing to wear the blue note, and happy I can contribute.
That's a good answer. Good and grateful. Joel Hofer. He was good last night in a 24 save performance, a shutout of the Winnipeg Jets, 1-0. The Blues won it. The Blues don't have a goalie controversy. Jordan Bennington is likely to start tonight against the Rangers. Looks like, though, they're seeing how Hofer can handle a bigger workload. He worked back-to-back games there in playing the game on Monday. He bounces back and has a nice game Wednesday, shutting out the Winnipeg Jets, who don't look like the team that was running through the Western Conference last year and eventually came back and beat the Blues at the last second in Game 7 of last year. The Blues don't look like the same team either. These two teams both are struggling. In fact, the Blues just jumped over the Jets in the Western Conference standings. The Blues are now in 5th place after leapfrogging the Blackhawks and the Jets, 4 points out of the final playoff spot in the West. They have some work to do. The St. Louis Billikens, they look fantastic. They hammered Bethune-Cookman last night at Chaffetz Arena.
Quentin Heddy with Bland.
Oh,
his pass just plucked out of the air by Robbie. 2-on-2. Now a no look for Dion. Back to Q. Bang, you got it. Excuse me. Trey Green with the 3.
That's his 4th of the game.
Bob Ramsey, Earl Austin Jr. with the call. 19 points for Trey Green. 7 players in double figures. The Billikens hit 17 threes, and they beat Bethune-Cookman 112-53, Coach Josh Schertz.
This time of year is hard. You guys know that for the student athletes, not making excuses, but, students are gone. They just finished finals week. We're here by ourselves, some women's basketball, I guess. You're ready to get on break. Everybody's ready to go home for Christmas, see their families.
Mm-hmm.
But, you have work to do. And, as we talk about a lot, be where your feet are. It's a big programmatical piece.
That's Josh Schertz, and Rebecca Tillett's team also successful. They won, beating Jacksonville State yesterday on the women's side. So SLU played a doubleheader yesterday, and the women beat Jacksonville State 74-54. St. Louis City SC introduced its new head coach, Yoann DeMay.
I don't think it's too much my place to look back on the past 3 years of the club. I think I came here knowing that there is history of the past 3 years where I come from is, can I understand better the team, the way the team has been performing, the way the team has been playing? I think the main thing that should give you an understanding of the direction we want to take is that word alignment, is again having like people working together, creating a path that we want to take for the future, and like sticking to that path and constantly evaluating and constantly like looking to improve. But I'm not there to dwell on the past. I'm here to build the future, and that's why I'm excited about it.
He wants to win. The 35-year-old Frenchman is actually the fifth coach City has had in what is now its fourth season. They have fired two coaches and have had two interim coaches. There's still an unknown as to what the future is for David Critchley. Corey Ray, the sporting director for City, said they were going to have a conversation with Critchley to see if there could be a position for him moving forward. The Cardinals have officially announced the signing of Dustin May, a one-year deal with a mutual option for 2027. Reportedly, he's going to get $12.5 million this coming season, and the mutual option is for $20 million. Chaim Bloom, Cardinals president of baseball operations, said May has already experienced pitching in and winning the World Series, as well as persevering through difficult injuries to return to health on a big league mound. We're happy he will write the next chapter of his career here in St. Louis. May was a young free agent, 28. He has pitched for the Dodgers and the Red Sox. I'm Tom Ackerman on the Voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
1964.
There when St. Louis celebrated.
Kenny Boyer, the batter. The Cardinals with their best opportunity. Bases loaded. One out. Boyer, who led the major leagues and runs batted in this year. There's a drive way back. It might be. It could be. It is a home run. Kenny Boyer, long time due in this World Series, just became the 9th player to hit a grand slammer. He hit a changeup.
The day is one to remember in the city of St. Louis. The Cardinals are world champions.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code Radio250BM and get your first bet matched as a bonus bet up to $250 whether you win or lose. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Open to New Users only. Minimum odds -500. Awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 14 days after receipt. Bonus bet amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Life is better together. At Fairwinds River's Edge, dynamic activity calendars, excellent meal options, and an abundance of services come together to create a strong sense of community where meaningful connections are cultivated. Here, you can trust that there will always be something fun and social to do. It's not just a place to live, it's a place to belong. To see what's happening this month, visit us on Facebook or online, fairwindsriversedge.com.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Are you just heading outside, heading to the car on your way in? Well, let's get you the update on the roadways from Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we've got an overturned truck, a big truck. I can't tell if it's a semi. I don't think it's quite that big, but a big, like a box truck off the highway, westbound 70 between Wentzville and David Hochul Parkways. Looks like the right lane is at least partially blocked there. It's in the work zone. So traffic's starting to bog down at Wentzville Parkway on westbound 70 past that scene. Eastbound 70, Lake St. Louis to Bryan Road. That's kind of slow. Southbound 61 better, just slow crossing over onto 64. But the delays remain all the way to 364. Westbound 64, Clayton Skinker to Big Bend's a little slower. North 270, Tesson Ferry past Gravois. Big Bend up to Manchester. That's pretty busy. Northbound 55, a little slow into 67. The right lane's at Butler Hill. Union Road overpass up to River to Pear, pretty congested. Downtown, barely a slowdown on the Poplar Street Bridge. Westbound doesn't look bad there. Next update at 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg is telling us that we are going to see some rain and maybe even a thunderstorm today. And with temperatures falling from 58 all the way down to feeling like 10. How is that possible? Well, St. Louis, that's how. We have rain moving into the area right now. We're keeping an eye on that out to our west. It started creeping in around Warrenton and Wentzville, and it's starting to move its way back in right now. We are seeing it again around Warrenton, Union. The greater area, the St. Louis metropolitan area, is pretty dry at the moment, but we're also seeing some rain start to fall around Festus. We will have cold temperatures tonight with some breeze, and tomorrow cold and a high of 40 with some sun. It's 53 right now. Weather is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The news continues at 7:23. If you need to do some holiday shopping with a side of entertainment, the final Celia's Yuletide Express and Winter Market is today at the Missouri History Museum. The Winter Market is open from 2 to 7:30 today with a variety of festive goods from local vendors. You can enjoy a holiday concert as well while you're there with a merry group of singers and sleigh bellists.
An update now on the medical condition of beloved Fox 2 features reporter Tim Ezel, previously feeling like he is suffering from MSA, which is like Parkinson's, but a bit worse. Ezel shares what happened when consulting with doctors at the Mayo Clinic.
I got a phone call from the neurologist that I'd met with, and she says, there's nothing here that's swaying me from an MSA diagnosis. And she goes, but there's one more test I'd like to do. I'd like to do a spinal tap. And I'm like, okay. She explained to me that in the spinal fluid, the proteins fold a certain way if it's more prominent MSA or if it's more Parkinson's. And she said, we do these regularly. I figure, you hear spinal tap, I'm like, what? But I'm like, I'm in the Mayo Clinic. Let's do it. And we did it. She scheduled that on Friday. And then I had a Zoom conference with the unexpected diagnosis that I never saw coming. What does it mean? Well, so my diagnosis now is Parkinson's OH, which is orthostatic hypertension, which basically means when I stand up, my blood pressure drops, and when I lay flat, it spikes. Mm-hmm. So it's a complicating factor in the Parkinson's because of the blood pressure. So it's just a different aspect of it that I have that not every Parkinson patient deals with. But it's great news that it's not MSA.
Ezel said he's been feeling run down.
The bill, which faces an unclear path in the Senate, does not extend the expiring ACA tax credits that help millions of Americans pay for health insurance. Earlier in the day, 4 GOP members signed a Democratic discharge petition to force a vote on extending the subsidies for 3 years, teeing up a final vote early in the new year. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Commentary on a newly tweaked display at the White House reads like a Truth Social post.
President Trump has updated his presidential Walk of Fame on the colonnade. A new plaque under a photo of former President Obama adds his middle name, Hussein. It describes him as the first Black president, a one-term senator from Illinois, and one of the most divisive political figures in American history. Added to a description of former President Clinton, in 2016, his wife Hillary lost the presidency to Donald J. Trump. As for Joe Biden, whose image Mr. Trump had already replaced with an auto pen, his new plaque reads, Sleepy Joe Biden was by far the worst president in American history. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
New legislation aims to bring more TV and movie production to the state of Illinois.
Governor Pritzker has signed a bill that, according to the Illinois Production Alliance, significantly expands and improves the state's film production tax credit. That provides those behind movies, shows, and commercials produced in the state with numerous financial benefits, including incentives to hire Illinois residents and vendors, tax breaks on hotels and flights, and additional money for implementing environmentally sustainable filming procedures. In a statement, the governor says the expansion, quote, doubles down on our commitment to building a world-class creative workforce and ensuring productions from around the globe choose Illinois as their home. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
727 time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, St. Louis City SC fans, mark your calendars now. The Boys in Red return to Energizer Park to kick off Season 4 Saturday, February 21st. And you could be there for the dawn of a new golden era of St. Louis soccer. Go to stlcitysc.com/tickets and reserve your seat now for the MLS home opener versus Charlotte FC. Limited quantities remain. See you soon, St. Louis.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
How many of you think taxes will go up in the future? And if they do, who will get hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA for years, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Thursday, January 22nd or Tuesday, the 27th. They believe a financial plan is not a retirement plan without a tax plan. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents nor representatives may offer tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with their qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
It is 7:30, and it's just kind of a weird color outside. It's still kind of dark and grayish brown and windy. Also, it's 53 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Roger Brands of the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, they're still working with this overturned truck crash, Tom and Debbie, on westbound 70 between Wentzville Parkway and David Hochul Parkway. Emergency crews on the scene. Only one lane of traffic getting through, so you're jammed back to Wentzville Parkway on westbound 70. And there's a little slowdown eastbound past the area now that there's more emergency crews on the scene. They're just sort of looking to see what's going on there. Once you get past that point, from Highway A almost to Bryan Road is pretty busy. Eastbound 64 from 61 to Lake St. Louis Boulevard slow. 364 from K to Gudermuth looks a little busy. Eastbound 64 is also slow briefly through Clarkson. Westbound 64, Science Center to Hanley's heavy. Southbound 270 just a little heavy at 364 briefly. North 270, though, pretty much the whole way from 55 up to Ladue is heavy. It looks like we have an incident. Eastbound 70, a crash just east of Natural Bridge. There's a backup at the airport because of that. Northbound 55, those right lanes, well, all lanes actually at 67. The right lanes, Butler Hill up to 270, and then backed up bumper to bumper from the Union Road overpass up to River to Pear. Next update is 740 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Roger, we have rain that has come in from the west. Looking at it on the radar, it still hasn't covered the entire metro area. Most of it kind of hanging out west of us, but we are going to get a lot of it today here and there, and possibility of a thunderstorm. I'm not looking at heavy rain according to Joe Lundberg's forecast, but he says rain at times with a thunderstorm in spots. The one thing he assures us is it is going to get cold. We're going to get a high today of 58, but into the mid 40s by the end of the afternoon. And tonight, believe it or not, we're going to drop to 24 with real feels falling toward 10. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, brisk, and cold and a high near 40. It's 53 right now.
Pope Leo has now officially accepted the letter of resignation from St. Louis native and New York Archbishop Cardinal Timothy Dolan.
The mandatory retirement age for Catholic bishops is 75, which Cardinal Dolan hit last February 6th. While he will no longer be the Archbishop of New York once his successor is installed, Cardinal Dolan will still, however, be able to take part in a papal conclave until age 80. Cardinal Dolan already took part in 2 conclaves, in 2013 for Pope Francis and earlier this year for Pope Leo. Cardinal Dolan was installed a priest in 1976 at the age of 26 at Holy Infant Church in Baldwin.
And I loved it. I flourished. I said, this is what I've always wanted to be, a parish priest, you know, to be close to God's people.
In 1994, Monsignor Dolan was named rector of the Pontifical North American College in Rome, and then an auxiliary bishop in the St. Louis Archdiocese in 2001. In 2007, he was named Archbishop of Milwaukee before being elevated to New York Archbishop in 2009 by Pope Benedict. He was elevated to Cardinal in 2012. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
Pope Leo named Bishop Ronald Hicks of Joliet as Cardinal Dolan's successor in New York City.
Wednesday morning's double shooting at an apartment complex in Cahokia Heights drew this on-scene reaction from Cahokia Heights Police Chief Thomas Trice.
We found that there was 2 people that had been wounded by gunfire, one an adult, one a juvenile. They were taken to separate hospitals.
Police say the adult died and the juvenile survived. There were 2 crime scenes at the apartment complex with a large area taped off and evidence tags spread all over.
A mail thief caught with letters belonging to more than 70 people has been sentenced to more than 3 years in prison. Miranda Burgess of Franklin County pleaded guilty to bank fraud and aggravated identity theft after being investigated by Arnold police and postal inspectors. Authorities say Burgess used the stolen personal information to target an elderly woman, draining her bank accounts.
News sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It's 7:34. Your Money Minute is next.
Hey guys, it's Dave asking you to join me, the entire crew, and a bunch of celebrity guests and tons of your fellow DJS listeners this Friday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at 501 Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. That's Hardee's in St. Peter's. We will be there from 1 to 5 collecting cash, selling some beanies, maybe selling some boxes of chocolate. It's a lot of fun. It's great for the kids. We will see you this Friday, 1 to 5, 501 Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, Hardee's.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
It is 7:36 and time for your money report, sponsored by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. It's Wall Street's biggest initial public offering of the year, ending 2025 with a bang. Shares of medical supplier Medline surged more than 40% in its trading debut yesterday. Medline manufactures and distributes medical supplies such as gloves and gowns used by hospitals and doctors, and the company aims to be the Costco of healthcare. Checking in on trading action, stocks are on the rise after an upbeat forecast from the largest memory chip maker. Micron Technology gave a sales forecast that topped expectations. Investors are also waiting on the release of inflation data before the opening bell. And Meta is rolling out a software update for the company's artificial intelligence glasses that lets you hear people talking more easily in a noisy environment. The speakers on the glasses will amplify the voice of the person you're talking to. The update also includes a new Spotify feature that lets you use artificial intelligence to play a song that matches what's in your view. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
This is the take care of my family goal. This is the enjoy the life I've built goal. This is the set up a foundation goal. This is Busey, where your goals become lasting legacies. Through bespoke plans that maximize your wealth, through partnerships that give you peace of mind. Because building wealth, tending to it, and passing it down secures a brighter future. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Hardee's Original Bag is back, now with even more full-size sandwiches. Choose any two. The new spicy chicken sandwich, hot ham and cheese, hand-breaded chicken tender wrap, or charbroiled double cheeseburger. Mix and match any two. With fries and a drink, just $6.99. Why settle for junior burgers? Get big savings on full-size goodness in Hardee's country. Download the app and join My Rewards for special offers. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary. See app for terms.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Get ready for Thursday night football as the Rams face the Seahawks.
Siteman Cancer Center game time 6:30. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Rams, the Seahawks. Thursday night football on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Should be a good one. We've had a lot of sports going on here lately locally, and we'll have it all for you in 5 minutes. Right now, Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, we got crashes in both directions on Highway 70. This traffic reports a service of Pine Valley Assisted Living. The overturned truck, commercial box truck, it looks like westbound 70 before David Hokel Parkway has a jam back to Wentzville Parkway. Eastbound is a little slow through that area, obviously, and then eastbound 70 from A and through Bryan Road, east to K through TR Hughes is slow, and you jam again from about Cypress through Natural Bridge. Out of the crash I mentioned, this one eastbound 70, just east of Natural Bridge is blocking the right lanes before you get to 170. South 170 from 270 down through Airport Road slow. South 270 from 364 Ladou's busy. North 270 is your ramp on from 55 all the way up to Ladou is off the pace. Eastbound 64 from 70 into Lake St. Louis Boulevard's heavy. Between Clarkson and 141, there's a little volume. Westbound 64 Hampton to Hanley is slow. Northbound 55 north of Rivas up to River to Pears backed up. Westbound 64 3rd Street to the Poplars on the brakes. Next update is 750 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Looking for a beautiful, all-inclusive place for your loved one? Happy holidays from Pine Valley Assisted Living. Secure a room between now and January 31st and take advantage of our move-in special. Enjoy affordable rates with absolutely no hidden fees. Experience the beautiful life at Pine Valley. Visit rspseniorliving.com today.
It is 7:42. Let's check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. I see the flags at Soldiers Memorial, the Missouri flag flapping in the breeze. So it's windy out there and kind of a weird color, too.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of clouds around right now. So far, we've avoided the rain. There are some sprinkles trying to work their way just in the west side of the city. A couple more showers a little bit farther north and west. Most of the showers really run from Columbia up toward Hannibal, and that's all rotating eastward. So shower or two the next couple of hours, then some rain and maybe even a rumble of thunder during the late morning and midday hours. That should end pretty quickly early this afternoon, and so too will the warmth for today. We get to 58 in the next few hours, and then it turns colder this afternoon with lingering clouds and temperatures falling back into the 40s. Tonight will turn breezy and much, much colder. By morning, we're down to 24 as skies clear. The real field temperature will actually fall toward 10. What a change from what it feels like this morning. Sunshine tomorrow, a cold breeze. Our high rebounds to about 40 in the afternoon. Saturday, partly sunny, breezy, much warmer ahead of another cold front, the high 56, but no rain with that one. It's just colder Sunday, despite sunshine, the high 42. And Monday, partly sunny, the high 49. We're in the 50s Tuesday, maybe 60s on Christmas Eve. Right now it's 57 at St. Peter's, 55 in Florissant, cloudy, 57 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Joe, thank you. It is 7:43. Sports coming up in 2 minutes. In the news, in an address last night to the nation, President Trump defended his economic policies and said he will announce housing reform plans that will dramatically reduce mortgage rates. We get details from CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Zhang.
Despite the concerns, Trump remains confident his plan is working.
We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen.
And the president revealed new goals.
Mortgage payments will be coming down even further. And you will see this in the new year. I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history.
The president's view of the economy contrasts with other economic data and polling. According to the Consumer Price Index, inflation remains at 3%, the same as the month he took office. And CBS News polling finds a majority of people, 76%, say their income is not keeping up with the inflation rate.
It's time to play America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball.
Maybe a lottery jackpot could help you make ends meet, but nobody won it again. So Saturday's drawing for the Powerball will be an estimated $1.5 billion.
Oh, boy.
What would you do with all the money?
Have you got plans?
My parents were retired, but pay off all their stuff, my family, my friends, and then I don't know, get some homes.
You could become a philanthropist.
I could. I would. Something with dogs, too.
I like that. Yes, I would do something with dogs as well. There were some decent sized winners last night. 2 tickets worth $2 million and 6 people won $1 million.
All right, that's a pretty good chunk of change right there.
I wouldn't turn that down.
All right, $1.5 billion. Wow. It is 7:45. Cardinals are worth $2.5 billion. They have a new pitcher. He's going to make $12.5 million this year. His name is Dustin May, officially announced yesterday. There's a mutual option for 2027, reportedly $20 million for the 6'6" redhead, Dustin May. His nickname is Big Red, and he will be near the top of that rotation. They still want to add some more. We'll hear some more. Of course, Chaim Bloom joins us every Sunday, sports on a Sunday morning, but there will be some commentary this week on the Gas House Gang and beyond. We also heard yesterday from the new soccer coach at St. Louis City SC, Yohan DeMay. He's 35 years old. He's been coaching for 2 decades. When he was a teenager, he was a youth coach. The Frenchman came from Columbus. Previously, he was with the LA Galaxy. He was with FC Cincinnati. He has some MLS coaching experience, and he says,
I'm really excited to take that step to
bring the vision of the club to fruition. That's my goal. That's why I'm here. I'm excited to work with Corey. What I've seen through the process is great people with a great vision and also like a big will for alignment. And that's what we're trying to bring here together. I'm excited to be a part of that. And I'm excited to get working with the players as well.
Meanwhile, over at Chaffetz Arena, the Billikens put it on Bethune-Cookman.
Then they have to kick it out. Great help by McCautry. Now Johnson, hard drive, got in deep, a walk, no call, but a blocked shot anyway.
That was a defensive clinic on team defense, switching, help recovery, and then the defensive block.
McCautry runs and dishes. Dunlop, left wing three. Bang! Brady got another one.
Bob Ramsey, Earl Austin Jr. with the call. 17 threes made by the Billikens last night in a 112-53 thumping of Bethune-Cookman. They do it all. They shoot, they share the ball, they play tremendous defense, and their coach is Josh Schertz.
Tonight I thought we had a great process. We got great shots. I thought we made shots, but I thought our defense and our rebounding really fueled a ton of what we were doing, got us in transition. I thought we shared the ball, and really had almost. Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a test of our mental toughness. Like mentally tough, mature teams, you reset the score. You come out here and you think, well, because the game doesn't know what the score is.
Well, think about that. The game doesn't know what the score is. Let's write that down and make a T-shirt out of it. Billikens get the win, and New Hampshire is the next opponent Sunday at 2:00. How about the Blues? They won 1-0 over Winnipeg last night, shutting out the Jets, the team that had their number in Game 7 in the final seconds of that excruciating playoff loss. This time they get the Jets 1-0, and Joel Hofer got the shutout. He's the Blues' backup goaltender right now.
Yeah, it was, it's super important. It's just, nice to get a win.
Jordan Bennington expected to get the start tonight against the New York Rangers, 7:00 at Enterprise Center. I'm Tom Ackerman on the Voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KMOX. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code KMOX. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
The Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for their holiday food drive. Dave and the crew will be out at Hardee's in St. Peter's on Friday, December 19th, starting at 1 p.m. All donations benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. The Dave Glover Show, Hardee's, and Operation Food Search, and the Holiday Food Drive. Get all the details about the campaign, or to make a donation online, head to KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM. Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 7:50. Let's get the check of the roadways from Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still got our 70 crashes in both directions, Debbie. The overturned truck crash westbound 70 near David Hochul Parkway. It's jammed back to Wentzville Parkway right now, and there's an eastbound slowdown there. Eastbound is heavy again. east of A through Lake St. Louis Boulevard around Bryan Road, and then you're bumper to bumper east of Lindbergh to this crash eastbound 70 that's between Natural Bridge and 170, blocking the right lanes at that location. Southbound 170 from 270 down through Airport Road, Scudder area is kind of slow. After that, not so bad. Southbound 270, 364 down to Ladue is busy. Eastbound 64, Prospect to Lake St. Louis Boulevard, slow. Heavy through the Chesterfield Parkways. A couple of spots where it's busy, but primary slowdown at the Interbelt. Westbound 64, Hampton out to Hanley's, heavy. Eastbound 44, we've got a crash just east of River to Pear. Just before you get to Jameson's, there's a backup to Laclede Station on eastbound 44 right now. North 270 is a ramp on from 55 all the way up to Ladou's, heavy. North 55, Union Road overpass up to River to Pear is backed up. Westbound 64, heavy from the 70 split to the Poplar. Next update is 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And that rain is moving into the area. We're going to see a little bit of rain here and there, maybe a thunderstorm in spots. AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg does tell us that it is going to be colder this afternoon. We're going to drop into the 40s later this afternoon. And then by tonight, a low of 24 real feels with this wind falling toward 10. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, brisk, and cold, and a high near 40. It's 53 right now.
The news continues at 7:52. Video game companies are said to be struggling to sell consoles this holiday season.
Last month in November, Bloomberg reports console sales were down almost 30% and haven't been this low in 20 years. The reasons revolve around rising console prices thanks to new tariffs and more expensive components to put inside them that have made for a rough year in general for the industry. This gamer we spoke to shopping in Oakland isn't deterred no matter what the price.
I mean, if that's a game that you really want and you want to play it, I feel like you're going to spend your hard-earned money on it for sure.
While other gamers like Alec do take the higher price tag into account.
Oh, I always wait till they're on sale. I never buy full price.
Consoles are at record highs, rising more than 10% with an average cost of almost $440. Ken Duffy, KCBS.
Some Jeep owners are about to get an apology and more. Reporter Jeff Gilbert says Stellantis will provide specific repair information and mailings to owners.
The apology is Jeep's 4xe hybrids have been subject to several recalls. The Detroit News says that apology includes $100 gift cards. Jeep has been working to come up with a fix for the problem and says they now have a better understanding. The gift cards meant to compensate owners for the extra gasoline they've had to buy to offset problems with the batteries.
It's a watershed moment for Hollywood. The Oscars will move to YouTube from ABC in 2029 in a deal with the Academy that insiders say is worth more than $100 million over 5 years.
Entertainment industry attorney Jonathan Handel tells us it's part of the radical changes affecting every part of Hollywood.
I would hate to predict the death of the Oscars. I'm not going to be the one to call that. But, if you look back, there was a very prominent entertainment form that involved actors and writers and directors, and that was stage plays 125 years ago. That changed dramatically. Just as MTV used to say video killed the radio star, movies killed the stage play star. Is that the fate that movies are in the cinema is headed toward? Is it all going to be streaming on screens on the home and in the palm? Hard to know.
The deal will see the YouTube production on the telecast streaming free to everyone in the world.
You may have asked yourself this question. Kevin's dad in Home Alone can afford that huge house in an expensive Chicago suburb, and he's got the cash to fly his whole family to Paris for Christmas. So what did he do for a living?
Well, in a new interview with the Toronto Sun, Macaulay Culkin weighs in on his own theory. He thinks his dad in the movie was a corporate lawyer and mom was an interior decorator. That's why the inside of the house was, quote, so nice.
That would track. Yeah, that suburb where that took place is a very pricey suburb of Chicago.
There are some interesting things going on in that movie. Go through it. There are some holes in the story here and there, and some questions. That is just a classic movie, and some awesome characters and some people that influenced the movie and changed the direction of it. Like every single character means something if you really dive deep into it. 756.
St. Louis City SC is teaming up again with Enterprise to salute the people who make our city shine bright. The Exceptional Neighbor program presented by Enterprise is back, and now you can help us find the class of 2026. Nominate your friend, coworker, or anyone who's going above and beyond for the STL region, and they could be featured on the pitch during halftime. Go to stlcitysc.com/exceptional neighbor now through January 9th and tell us who you think deserves to be an exceptional neighbor. Presented by Enterprise.
Hey guys, Dave and Rach here for our good friends at Smart Mouth. So it is unique by the very definition of the word. It's the only mouth rinse out there with 2 chemicals that combine to prevent bad breath for 24 hours a day with just 2 rinses a day.
Never have bad breath again. You can find Smart Mouth locally at Schnucks and Deerbergs or at Walgreens, Walmart, and Amazon. Visit smartmouth.com to snag a special discount on your next Smart Mouth purchase. That's smartmouth.com/Glover.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. 2025 was a turning point for America. House Republicans didn't just talk about the challenges facing our country, we delivered real solutions. I was proud to stand beside President Trump to deliver historic tax cuts, secure our border, and eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse in the government. This year, my office helped constituents by solving over 500 cases and returning to them nearly $1.8 million. I'm Congressman Bob Onder, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Let's check in with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still got our crashes out there, Debbie. The overturned truck westbound 70 near David Hochul Parkway. Traffic's jammed back to Wentzville Parkway. They're still working the crash eastbound 70 east of Natural Bridge before the Interbelt, blocking the right lanes. Traffic's a solid jam at Cypress there, and they're still working the crash in the left lane on eastbound 44 before Jameson. Traffic is slow back east of Big Bend, and it jams as you approach Laclede Station up to that wreck right now. Downtown westbound 64 still slow, 70 to the Poplar. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
53 degrees and clouds in downtown St. Louis. I'm Tom Ackerman. These are the stories making news. Cardinal Timothy Dolan steps back as the New York Archbishop. Fred Bottomer looks at what's next for the St. Louis native.
I'm Debbie Monterrey. The U.S. government now admits failures by the pilots of an Army Black Hawk helicopter and an air traffic controller in January's deadly mid-air collision.
Is ChatGPT to blame for murder? Megan Lynch talks with media expert Julie Smith.
It may be a warm instead of a white Christmas in St. Louis. AccuWeather's Paul Pastelok will give us that Christmas forecast.
As for today's forecast,
this is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. A windy, mild start to the day with rain through early afternoon, then a leftover shower. Our high 58.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez, and we have new numbers on inflation. The Labor Department has issued a delayed report that shows consumer prices rose at a lower than expected annual rate of 2.7% in November. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger points out,
there is a bit of an asterisk associated with this report. Economists have warned that there could have been distortions that are actually related to the shutdown itself, which is why we'll really need to see what the next coming months look like for inflation to get a better read on what's happening in the economy.
In a 20-minute speech to the nation last night, President Trump defended his first year in office, talking up his accomplishments on the economy, trade, and immigration. And he announced extra money for some military members. CBS's Weijia Zhang's at the White House.
President Trump praised the military, announcing what he calls warrior dividend payments. End of the year bonuses worth $1,776 for nearly 1.5 million service members.
The checks are already on the way.
The president himself could be in for a windfall. We've just learned the struggling parent company of his Truth Social platform and fusion energy firm TAE have agreed to an all-stock merger valued at more than $6 billion. The combined company would build a series of giant power plants to serve the AI boom. The president is Trump Media's largest shareholder with a 50% stake. Nerves are on edge in New Orleans, where a viral video shows at least 2 people accusing undercover officers of being ICE agents. Chris Masters, agent for the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
They made an assumption and jumped on an assumption and ran with it. And unfortunately for them, it's not the case.
He says the officers were set to carry out an arrest for suspected child pornography. Hours after Pope Leo announced New York Cardinal Timothy Dolan's replacement, the pontiff's fellow Chicagoan, Bishop Ronald Hicks, met the media at St. Patrick's Cathedral.
I love it. I love the culture, the food, the energy, the plays, the neighborhoods, but especially I love the people.
A customer at a restaurant in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, ended up on the menu. CBS's Michael Wallace tells the tale.
A raccoon had poked its head out of a ceiling tile before falling on the customer and taking a bite.
Can you choke him out or no?
Matt Snorek of Guaranteed Gone Wildlife Control was called in to trap the raccoon.
Once it bites somebody, there's really one option, and that's to get that animal tested as soon as possible for the transmission of rabies.
This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
At 8:03, we have cloudy skies, 55 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Thursday, December 18th. I'm Megan Lynch. The search is on for the person who shot and killed a boy in his early teens in South City. The shooting happened around 6 last night in the 3600 block of Oregon. Police say they don't know exactly how old the boy was, but believe he was younger than 16. No suspect description has been released. 5 police officers injured in the line of duty see the man responsible sent to prison.
Matthew Jones admitted in court that he failed to yield to emergency lights on I-70 before slamming into a police blockade. This was in March of 2023. The impact injured 5 officers from Lake St. Louis and from St. Charles County, 3 of them seriously enough to require surgery. Jones admitted he had both fentanyl and marijuana in his system at the time. He also had his 2-year-old daughter in the back seat. She suffered minor injuries. A judge accepted the plea deal and sentenced Jones to 10 years behind bars. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
A Belleville man is charged with 2 counts of murder, bringing a recent major case squad investigation to a close in St. Clair County. Detectives followed up on 75 leads before taking 54-year-old Sean Williams into custody. Williams is accused of shooting Linnea White and Bruce Mason to death in Cahokia Heights December 12th. Missouri's new bill, HB 1, has been paused. The nonpartisan group People Not Politicians delivered more than 300,000 signatures to the Secretary of State.
People who signed that petition want to end partisan gerrymandering and the suspension of Republican-drawn congressional maps ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. Former Missouri Secretary of State Jason Kander.
What is happening here is that the Secretary of State and the Attorney General are exercising weaponized incompetence by claiming that they don't understand how to do their job so that they can incompetently move forward as if the law is not paused. The law says you can't do this, and they're trying to get away with it.
Maria Akina, KMOX News.
Illinois Republican leaders are warning the transit reform bill signed this week will hit families and workers in the Metro East area with higher costs. House Minority Leader Tony McComey says the legislation requires tollway surcharges and sales tax hikes to function.
Road and bridges are not optional, and the promises made to voters through the Safe Roads Constitutional Amendment should not be broken to rescue Chicago's transit from years of bad management.
McComey calls this one of the largest road fund diversions in Illinois history, impacting highway work, including in the Metro East. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen allocated an additional $350,000 to help nonprofit Heat Up St. Louis continue its work. Their founder says it's still not nearly enough.
Gentry Trotter, the founder of Heat Up St. Louis, is grateful for the additional funds St. Louis City has provided them, but says the need is far greater.
$2 million is the reality of trying to help people both citywide, which is this money, and both in terms of tornado and a separate pot of funds.
Heat Up St. Louis helps residents keep their power and heat on during the winter and air conditioners running during the summer. Trotter says a part of why they were hoping to receive more funds is they don't have admin fees, meaning all the money they receive goes towards the people they help, not their own expenses. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Due to federal funding uncertainty, Washington University is pulling back on a number of capital projects in the St. Louis area. That includes plans for the campus of the former Fontbonne University. Chancellor Andrew Martin tells the Business Journal WashU doesn't have a plan for the 16-acre campus and that faculty on the Danforth campus will likely be smaller in the years ahead. Washington University has been a major developer in the region, so the cutbacks could have a significant impact on the local economy. From the business desk, sponsored by Krenz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Need to do some holiday shopping with a side of entertainment? The final Celia's Yuletide Express and Winter Market is today at the Missouri History Museum. The Winter Market is open from 2 to 7:30 with a variety of festive goods from local vendors. Enjoy a holiday concert with a merry group of singers and sleigh bells. It's now 8:07. We're going to get a check of traffic and weather. We could have some rain in the forecast today. It's 8:08.
You know how we all of our kids make lists and everything and visit with Santa, and I happen to be really good friends with Santa. It's like we're the same people. So every once in a while, you know, when he's got some free time, which he did, we're cool. So he always makes it a point to stop in and have an adult beverage with me. I was talking to him about, do you ever have requests for a homeowner wanting a furnace or an air conditioner? He said he does. And I said, so what do you deliver on that? Because I'm your best bud and you never let me know. So I've never delivered anything or put anything together. But he said he was going to leave my number and my card. If you don't find it, here's what's on my card. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Merry Christmas and God bless.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
8:10, time for a check of the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, they're still working on a couple of crashes out here, Megan. We still have this overturned truck wreck from earlier. Westbound 70 near David Hokel Parkway. It's a solid jam back to Winslow Parkway. They cleared the crash eastbound 70 at Natural Bridge. Eastbound 70 looks great. There's just a little slowdown Earth City into 270, but after that, it's thinned out heading through that Natural Bridge area. Southbound 170, Frost Airport Road, still a little slow, and then Brentwood to 64 after that. They're still working the crash on 44 eastbound before Jamison left lane blocked. Traffic's jammed at about Elm, and it's actually slow just east of Big Bend, so still very busy on eastbound 44. Northbound 55, Bayless up through Virginia's heavy. North 270 bogged down, approaching Tesson Ferry most of the way to 44, and then north of Big Bend all the way to Ladue. South 270, Dorset down to Ladue is heavy. Eastbound 64 between Clarkson and Timberlake and east of Lindbergh through the Innerbelt slow. Westbound 64, Science Center to Hanley, and then a little heavy Lindbergh out through Spady. And westbound 64 downtown, still heavy 3rd Street across the Poplar. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Cloudy, windy, and mild with rain at times through early afternoon, even a rumble of thunder. Mostly cloudy, breezy later this afternoon, our high 58, but temperature will drop into the mid-40s by sunset. Breezy, much colder tonight. Plenty of clouds early, then some clearing late, low 24. AccuWeather real field temperatures fall toward 10. Sunshine tomorrow, but brisk and cold, high only 40. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We have 55 degrees in Florissant, 57 in St. Peters, and 55 downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. President Trump told the nation last night that the U.S. is on the cusp of an economic boom. CBS News senior White House reporter Jennifer Jacobs joining us now. Jennifer, thanks for your time this morning.
Hi, Megan. You're welcome.
Give us the big takeaways from last night's speech.
One of the big pieces of news that we were not really expecting was that the president unveiled a plan to send checks to U.S. service members in the amount of $1,776, $1,776. That was the big highlight. Otherwise, it was a lot of his same rally points where he talked about the economy. He was trying to urge everyone to believe in his economy. He was talking about his own personal accomplishments and essentially blaming his predecessor, former President Joe Biden, trying to convince people that if you are feeling economic pain right now, it's not my fault. I inherited everything from Joe Biden.
Did he mention the jobs picture much, with the unemployment rate being basically the highest it's been in 4 years?
Right. And actually, there was a Fox News survey that was just released right before the president started speaking, which showed the most recent public polling on this, which shows that 39% of Americans approve of the job Trump is doing with his handling of the economy, and 58% say he's focused on the wrong things. So the president did focus on that. There was news again this morning that inflation doesn't appear to be rising. The new inflation report came out that had some good news in it. The U.S. inflation was at 2.7% year over year. That's a lower number than what was expected. So the president's going to have some rallying points this morning that kind of bolster what he was talking about in his year-end address last night.
When it comes to those rally points, did the president explain at all just how his economic policies will start to benefit Americans in the new year?
Right. They're trying to argue, the White House has had this theme. It was last night. The vice president has been arguing this, and the various tax cuts and things in the One Big Beautiful Bill will start driving home the point to Americans. When they file their tax returns, they're going to see some benefits in their tax returns. The president is also doing his own version of a stimulus plan, this proposal for the U.S. troops. Megan, it was part of that money that was it was part of the allocations from the One Big Beautiful Bill. It's $2.9 million for the Department of War that was meant to supplement the basic housing allowances for the troops. But the president is trying to frame that as this is recognition for our service members. This is a one-time, they're calling it a warrior dividend. So it'll be that $1,700 one-time basic allowance for housing that'll go to certain eligible troops. It's based on your pay grades and things like that. But the president has really been trying to flush money into the economy. This is another more than $2 billion that will go directly into people's hands. They've been talking about doing another stimulus which would be based on the tariff dividends. Unclear when that is coming or if it will. So the president has been trying to propose these different ideas that get money directly back into Americans' hands.
CBS News senior White House reporter Jennifer Jacobs, thank you for the rundown this morning.
You're welcome.
The president did not mention Venezuela in his address to the nation, even though he mentioned the U.S. being a peacekeeper in the world, even though earlier this week he ordered a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving that country. Let's get the latest from CBS News military analyst and retired Army Colonel Jeff McCausland. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Well, it's a great pleasure.
Do we know any more about how the White House plans to impose this blockade that was announced earlier this week?
Well, certainly it has the maritime assets to impose a blockade, deploys aircraft to monitor the area and ships to impose it. We saw them seize one ship, the Skipper, using helicopters and Special Ops, Coast Guard, and Marines to fast rope down on the vessel. So the capabilities are present. Second of all, of course, these are only the sanctioned vessels. That's about 20 to 30% of the vessels that come in and out of Venezuela. And those are identified on a treasury list. So that seems to be able to be conducted. Now, in the aftermath, in the last 24 hours, the Venezuelans have said they're going to put their Navy ship to escort tankers coming in and coming out of Venezuela. They say those so far are only going to be vessels that are non-sanctioned, but obviously that escalates the situation a bit more rapidly because it offers the possibility of a direct confrontation between the Venezuelan Navy and the American Navy.
Well, and some critics have said that this is actually a precursor to war, almost an act of war.
Many people would call a blockade an act of war. There's no doubt about it. Now, this is a limited blockade, and we've had confrontations like this in the past. One harkens back, of course, to the blockade around Cuba during the missile crisis back in 1962. But certainly we see the administration escalating more and more. We've got more military aircraft have been moved into the area. The president has talked about land strikes, and there seems to be a real possibility we might see airstrikes against cartel locations in Venezuela occurring. And then furthermore, one thing I think that needs to be emphasized is about half of all the vessels seized have been identified as being in the Eastern Pacific. Well, that's not Venezuela because it doesn't have a coastline. Those are actually coming out of Colombia. And in some remarks, Mr. Trump has said they're next. So we could see this whole crisis escalate horizontally to include more geography involving countries in South America.
You mentioned the military assets that we have there. Is there any concern that this could draw U.S. military resources away from other parts of the world where they're needed?
Absolutely. If you look at the National Security Strategy administration released a couple of weeks ago, it talks about a major focus on the homeland, the United States, immigration, troops in the cities, investments in things like Golden Dome and Latin and South America. So this is a repositioning of forces. In response to Congress recently voted for the National Defense Authorization Act to put if you will, a floor under U.S. forces in Europe down to no less than 75,000, many people being concerned that the administration was planning on pulling the vast majority of U.S. forces out of Europe to reposition them for contingencies, particularly in Latin and South America.
What do you see as the end game or the objective of what the United States is doing here?
Well, the objective described by the administration was always to interrupt the drug flow, but they talk about that in terms of fentanyl. Well, fentanyl doesn't come out of Venezuela. Fentanyl comes out of Mexico and is clearly the most destructive of all narcotics. Of the three countries, Colombia, Mexico, Venezuela probably has the least export of illegal narcotics, and most of it that comes out of Venezuela goes to Africa or goes to Europe. So that seemed to be a bit suspect. But more and more, as we're seeing more and more military hardware. Now, the president has said this blockade also implies that Venezuela has to return assets to the United States. These would be oil assets that were nationalized by various Colombian governments going back as far as 1979. So it seems like the intent is much more regime change, getting rid of President Maduro as being the objective of the administration.
Real quick, and I know this is kind of a drawn-out question, but when you look at a regime change, sometimes that can be more destabilizing than the regime that's already in. What do you think in this situation?
Absolutely. And we've seen that played out in Iraq. We've seen that played out in Libya. In this case, I think this could be a really socially destabilizing. Don't forget, about a quarter of the Venezuelan population has already fled to the North America or to other places in South America. So you can see massive social unrest trying to secure a new government, number one, internally. And externally, you could see a massive refugee flow, not only coming out of Venezuela, but out of Colombia, which could have a dramatic impact on other countries in South America.
CBS News military analyst, retired Army Colonel Jeff McCausland, thank you so much.
Take care.
Still ahead on Total Information AM, is ChatGPT to blame for murder? I'll talk with media expert Julie Smith, and then it may be a warm instead of a white Christmas in St. Louis. We're going to get that long-range forecast from AccuWeather's Paul Pastelok. Let's get an update on the roads now for you on this Thursday morning. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we've still got our westbound 70 jam in Wentzville. This traffic report service of the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. That overturned truck crash near David Hokel Parkway jammed at Wentzville Parkway. Westbound, eastbound 70, clear all the way into the city. Eastbound 64, still a little slow through the Chesterfield Parkways, east of Lindbergh through the Innerbelt. Southbound 170, a couple of spots. Delmar down to 64 where it's kind of slow. Westbound 64, Science Center to Hanley's busy. South 270, 364 through Olive is slow, and then it starts picking up the pace. North 270, north of Big Bend to Ladue, still heavy. They cleared that crash 44 before Jameson, but traffic still slow from Elm through Laclede Station. Northbound 55, Bayless up through Virginia, still heavy downtown. Westbound 64, 3rd Street to the Poplar, still slow. And eastbound 44, past the Poplar, out on to 70 at Salisbury, kind of busy. At Penn Mutual, we believe that life insurance is the central part of a sound financial plan and that it can make an enduring impact for generations to come. Talk to your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. Penn Mutual, trusted for life. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Thank you, Roger. And the weather is going to be changing as we go throughout the day. Windy and mild with rain at times through early afternoon. We may even see a thunderstorm in spots. Mostly cloudy, breezy later this afternoon. We'll peak at a high of around 58 degrees, but this afternoon it's going to turn colder. Temperatures are going to dip into the mid-40s. Then for tonight, breezy and much colder, mostly cloudy early with some clearing late. We'll have a low of 24, but it could feel like it's closer to 10 degrees overnight. And then for tomorrow, mostly sunny, brisk, and cold. We're expecting a high near 40. On Saturday, we jump back again, partly sunny, breezy, a high of 56. Right now, we have cloudy skies, 55 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Hey, St. Louis City SC fans, mark your calendars now. The Boys in Red return to Energizer Park to kick off Season 4 Saturday, February 21st. And you could be there for the dawn of a new golden era of St. Louis soccer. Go to stlcitysc.com/tickets and reserve your seat now for the MLS home opener versus Charlotte FC. Limited quantities remain. See you soon, St. Louis.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code Radio250BM and get your first bet matched as a bonus bet up to $250 whether you win or lose. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Open to New users only. Minimum odds -500. Awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 14 days after receipt. Bonus bet amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This holiday season, when you get them Steel, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
I'm Megan Lynch, and you're back with Total Information AM here on 104.1 FM KMOX. It had been anticipated all week long, but now Pope Leo has made it official, accepting the letter of resignation from St. Louis native New York Archbishop Cardinal Timothy Dolan. KMOX religion editor Fred Bottomer has more.
Cardinal Dolan sent his letter of resignation on his 75th birthday last February. That's the mandatory retirement age for Catholic bishops, according to church law. Cardinal Dolan has been a priest nearly 50 years, a bishop for 24 years, and a cardinal for nearly 14 years.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
Several words and phrases sum up the nature of Cardinal Dolan: friendly, gregarious, and not shy to tell a story, like this one a few years ago when he was visiting St. Louis as New York Archbishop.
Is Fred still around?
He is.
Yeah, would you tell him hello?
I will.
One time when I was in Rome, Fred, you guys remember Fred Bottomer? When I was in Rome as rector, he would often call. Most of the time when Pope John Paul would be sick, he'd call to say, what's the real word? So one time he called, and I said, I wonder what this is about. The Pope's not sick. So I got on the air.
Cardinal Dolan was ordained a priest in 1976 at the age of 26 at Holy Infant Church in Baldwin. In 1994, Monsignor Dolan was named rector of the Pontifical North American College in Rome, and then an auxiliary bishop in the St. Louis Archdiocese in 2001. In 2007, he was named Archbishop of Milwaukee by Pope John Paul II, before being named Archbishop of New York in 2009 by Pope Benedict, who then elevated him to a cardinal in 2012. While he'll no longer be the Archbishop of New York once his successor is installed, Cardinal Dolan will still, however, be able to take part in a papal conclave until age 80. Cardinal Dolan already took part in 2 conclaves, in 2013 for Pope Francis and earlier this year for Pope Leo. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
Thank you, Fred. Coming up on Total Information AM, the U.S. government now admits failures by the pilots of an Army Black Hawk helicopter and an air traffic controller in January's deadly mid-air collision. We're going to have more on that report. Make sure you stay with us. Later this hour, we're going to look at the chances of having a white Christmas around the country. It's now 8:27. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Listen up, Missouri. If you haven't heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is rolling in the Show Me State, and they are kicking things off with an offer that is really tough to beat. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether you're betting football or basketball or hockey or whatever it is, you can do it all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Download the FanDuel app today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement, because it has been a lot of fun since it's been live and rolling in the state of Missouri. It is time to play your game with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
Hi, Margaret with Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. Our St. Louis Baseball Cardinals reset last season. Now they're planning for the long term. Have you thought about a long-term plan for your family? A will, a trust, powers of attorney? Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano can guide you with a personalized estate plan. Sign up for our free webinar on our website, yourestateMatters.com. Learn more about estate planning, get some answers, list your questions, then schedule a consultation. You can plan for your family, your favorite charities, taxes, your long-term care, and even your pets now, before the courts do it for you later. Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, yourestateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
This is one of the most important Cardinals off seasons ever as the club heads into a new era under President of Baseball Operations Chaim Bloom, and the Countdown to Opening Day show is here for you. Which players will be back? Who will be traded? And what new names will be joining the roster? Which prospects are ready to take a big step? Join Mike Claiborne and me, Matt Pauley, and our many guests as we take you from the hot stove all the way through spring training.
Catch the Countdown to Opening Day show, Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m.
On the home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
8:30 Total Information AM. Let's see how things are going on the roads. I know we've had a little bit of rainfall in some places. Roger Brand has the latest for you from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any problems so far related to it. Not recently, Megan. This traffic reports the service of 4 Pretty Paws mobile pet spa, but they are still working that overturned truck crash from earlier this morning, westbound 70 near David Hokel Parkway. It's a solid jam back to almost 61 on westbound 70. Eastbound 70 is wide open. Eastbound 64 is still slow east of Lindbergh into Big Bend. South 170 bogs down to Ladue. Westbound 64 Hampton to Hanley slow. North 270 Doherty Ferry up to Ladue is busy. Northbound 55 Bayless all the way through Virginia is pretty crowded. Westbound 70 past the Musel Veterans Bridge slow, and westbound 64 3rd Street onto the Poplar is still heavy. Since 2018, 4 Pretty Paws Mobile's Pet Spa has provided stress-free one-on-one grooming right at your doorstep. Convenient, personal, and trusted. Book your holiday appointment at 4prettypaws.com. Now serving Southern Illinois. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, it's going to be windy and mild with rain at times through early afternoon, possibly a thunderstorm as well. This afternoon, cloudy and breezy with a high of 58, but then temperatures are going to dip down into the mid-40s. For tonight, breezy and much colder. We'll have a low of 24. Right now, we have cloudy skies, 55 degrees downtown at the Arch. The federal government admits a series of bad errors led to a deadly collision over Washington in January. That January 29th crash between American Eagle Flight 5342, which was on approach to land at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, and an Army Black Hawk helicopter killed 67 people. Odyssey's Alex Silverman explains what we've learned and whether we're any safer today than we were a year ago.
The government's admission is extraordinary because it comes before we've even seen a final report from federal investigators. It says radar showed the collision course, but air traffic controllers did not warn the pilots in time. They were understaffed, handling multiple critical duties at once.
It's really not one person's fault. It's a system's fault. And I think that's where the government's taking liability now.
That's aviation safety expert Michael Drycorn. If you hear this and say, we're lucky we didn't see this again, especially around the government shutdown with all the shortages, you'd be right. And there's not much here to reassure you.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the actual hiring of more controllers or the installation of technology to prevent any of this stuff from occurring.
The court filing also blames the military pilots who were flying higher than they were allowed and wearing night vision goggles that obscured their vision.
For that to be occurring in the nation's capital with a lot of commercial aircraft coming in and out, I think that's why you're finding the government taking some liability today.
There is some progress to report, though. The Senate has passed a bill that basically closes a loophole, makes sure military aircraft have to broadcast their locations when they're flying in civilian airspace.
There really is no reason for a military aircraft to be stealth.
Bottom line question, could this happen again? I leave you with this. The federal government says in these court papers, the airspace near DCA is busy at times and the risk of mid-air collision cannot be reduced to zero. I'm Alex Silverman.
On a local note, on Capitol Hill yesterday, Illinois U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth pushed for an additional $20 billion in federal funding for the Federal Aviation Administration to modernize the nation's air traffic control system. It's 8:34. Your Money Report next.
You have Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Your Money Report now, sponsored by Eamon Gattner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys. Here's Bloomberg's Courtney Donahoe.
OpenAI has signed a number of deals with colleges around the country, giving ChatGPT a head start on becoming the go-to assistant for the next generation of workers. Bloomberg has learned the company has sold more than 700,000 ChatGPT licenses to about 35 public universities. Turning to trading, stocks are set to rebound from yesterday's tech-led sell-off. Chipmaker Micron Technology's upbeat forecast is giving some momentum to the markets. Later this morning, we get a closer look at inflation as the government issues a report on consumer prices. And Tesla was a pioneer of electronically controlled doors and flush handles, which have proliferated in the auto industry. But when power is lost, these doors lose function. Some drivers are now buying glass breakers and other accessories to help escape their cars in case the doors malfunction. Nearly 35,000 people have signed an online petition calling on automakers to fix their electronic doors. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
This is Trainer Games.
Watch it on Prime Video starting January 8th. 250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. If you need to sell your home to buy a new one, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator that you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman on your side. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
This is 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. Research published in the European Heart Journal found whether nicotine is vaped, smoked, or from a pouch, it's toxic to the heart and blood vessels. The Trump administration has announced a massive package of arms sales to Taiwan valued at more than $10 billion. The statement drew an angry response from China. And Forbes has released its annual list of the most valuable sports teams for the 10th straight year. The Dallas Cowboys are number one, valued at $13 billion. Let's see how things are moving on the roads for you. Roger Brand has the latest update from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, there's no change on westbound 70. That overturned truck crash from earlier this morning. There's still the right lane closed westbound 70 just before David Hokel Parkway. It's a solid jam back pretty much to Highway 61 right now. Northbound 270 approaching Manchester up to Ladue, still heavy. Eastbound 64 is slow from Lindbergh into Big Bend. South 170 backs up south of the Parkway. Westbound 64 Hampton to Hanley, still heavy. They're clearing a crash. Looks like it's over on the right shoulder now. South 270 at Tesson Ferry, a little busy there. Northbound 55, you've got heavy traffic from about Bayless up to River to Pear downtown. Westbound 64 3rd Street to the Poplar, and eastbound 64 slow across the bridge. Again, those two left lanes at the Illinois end of the bridge remain closed through Monday. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
Metro Transit is excited to offer the On the Way with program, which allows ADA paratransit riders to ride MetroLink and Metro Bus for free. Visit metrostlewis.org to learn more.
We'll reach a high of 58 today, but the temperatures are going to dip this afternoon into the mid-40s. We're looking for rain through early afternoon, maybe even a thunderstorm. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy and breezy. Tonight, we're going to have a low of 24 degrees. Right now, we have cloudy skies, 55 degrees downtown at the Arch. Welcome back to Total Information AM. I'm Megan Lynch. The heirs of an 83-year-old Connecticut woman are suing ChatGPT maker OpenAI and its business partner Microsoft for wrongful death. They allege that the artificial intelligence chatbot intensified her son's paranoid delusions and helped direct them at his mother before he died by suicide. Joining me now to talk about this case is Julie Smith. She's an instructor at Webster University in media. She's also a public speaker and an author. Julie, thanks for being with me this morning.
Oh, you bet.
This is just one in a string of stories that I feel like we have heard where people are using AI chatbots for all kinds of things, including mental health counseling, for companions. What do you make of this story?
This story is really interesting for a couple of reasons. Because there have been lawsuits about suicides from ChatGPT use, chatbot use, but this is the first one that includes a homicide. And what the lawsuit actually says is that ChatGPT is a defective product that validated the user's paranoid delusions. And I think the key word there is validated, because what we tend to forget about these chatbots is that they are programmed to agree with us. They are programmed to never, ever push back on anything we say, even if we say something outlandish. And so the latest research says 25% of young adults have asked a chatbot for mental health advice. And I think we have to help people understand why these chatbots exist, how they exist, and how to keep from falling into that paranoid AI psychosis thing. Because I guess the chatbot was telling this man that he wasn't mentally ill. It affirmed all of his weird conspiracy theories and even told him he was chosen for a divine purpose. It makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder how safe these are, especially for people who might not be emotionally stable to begin with.
A lot of people would say, though, they would give the argument that this person already had these tendencies. So why is it the fault of a technology if someone can't distinguish reality?
I think that's a really valid question. I think it's also fishy that OpenAI has declined to provide the plaintiffs with the chat history. And so it makes me think that maybe they're trying to hide something. But you're right. Thousands of people use chatbots every day and don't kill their mother and then commit suicide. But for some, I think it's really dangerous.
I think one of the things that causes people to be concerned is the speed with which this technology, artificial intelligence, this generative AI, how quickly it has come into common use and just been embraced. It's been just 2 or 3 years.
It's exploded, really. And it's moving. The technology is moving faster than legislation can keep up with it. And it's certainly moving faster than our education level can keep up with it. So I think it's right for us to be a little wary, because so much of this is unknown territory.
Now, for you, obviously, you've studied media, the history, when we've had technological advances that have changed the face of how we interact in the digital world. Have you seen anything like this in the past?
Well, yeah, actually, in the Telecommunications Act of 1996, there's a little section of it called Section 230. And what that does, it absolved the social media platforms from being legally responsible for anything posted on them by a third party, because the government included that section. They wanted these platforms to be the digital town square where we got on and all had conversations. What they didn't realize is that absolution enabled all of these platforms to have incorrect health information, incorrect political information, loads of fake accounts, loads of bot accounts. And I think that the law was well intended, but no one thought 20 years into the future about how it could be used to manipulate people with false information. And so it kind of reminds me of that, Megan, where this has sprung up so quickly that I'm not sure that we really know how to deal with it yet. And I think 10 years from now, we might still be asking the same question.
Obviously, you work in a research institution as well. It would seem that for a lot of this, there just has not been time to really study it before it was rolled out.
Oh, no. Yeah, not at all. I think everyone kind of has whiplash about it because it has come up so quickly. And in the education world, I mean, obviously we're talking about it all the time because it has changed what we do significantly.
Do you think people really understand how it works? When you send in a prompt, what that machine learning is actually doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure many people realize that or understand the difference between a large language model like ChatGPT or a generative AI that generates things from scratch. So again, Megan, I'm always talking about digital literacy education.
Mm-hmm.
Now, besides teaching people about how the internet works or how television works, et cetera, we need to start talking about how AI works and where we fit in the system and how AI responds to us and why. I mean, the whole point of those large language model chatbots is to make sure that we don't sign off. And it's, you hear about stories, that there's an epidemic of loneliness in this country. And if you can make friends with this little entity online that claims to be your friend and tells you everything you want to hear, I think that's pretty appealing.
How widespread are these chatbots? It's not just ChatGPT.
No, and ChatGPT, I think, is the one that people primarily think of. But a lot of the suicide lawsuits are actually based from a website called character.ai, and they have stopped their chatbotting, for lack of a better term, because of the lawsuits. They recognize that for a lot of teenagers, it was causing problems.
Have any of these other platforms put any other kind of guardrails in on their systems after problems were flagged?
I'm not sure any of the platforms even have guardrails in for false information. Like, I think they're still trying to deal with that. I'm not even sure they've dealt with AI yet.
So down the road, do you see this changing at all, how these companies do this? Because right now what I'm seeing is this race to develop AI and even kind of a national theme of, the United States being at the forefront of it.
Yeah, until there's a financial reason for them to pull back, I don't think they will. It always comes back to the money, doesn't it?
As you watch these lawsuits, and I'm sure you've seen, for example, like the social media lawsuits that we've had that are in some ways somewhat similar to these kind of lawsuits for the AI chatbots. What's the likelihood of them affecting much meaningful change against these tech giants?
I don't think it's very likely at all unless the platforms start losing money.
All right.
I know that's so cynical, isn't it?
But that's what you've seen then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Julie Smith, Webster University instructor, author, public speaker. Thank you so much for your insight.
Oh, you bet.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Looking for a beautiful, all-inclusive place for your loved one? Happy holidays from Pine Valley Assisted Living. Secure a room between now and January 31st and take advantage of our move-in special. Enjoy affordable rates with absolutely no hidden fees. Experience the beautiful life at Pine Valley. Visit rspseniorliving.com today.
Kingdom OX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefits Sightman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. TSO, timeless and everlasting. Don't miss the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve, produced by Live Nation. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
We don't necessarily want to deal with winter storms over the holidays, but many people would like to see a white Christmas this year. Let's get the latest on the holiday forecast with AccuWeather lead long-range expert Paul Pastelok. Paul, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks, Megan. Great to be here.
First of all, for a meteorologist, how do you define a white Christmas?
Well, officially, it is 1 inch on the ground. But personally, if it's snowing on Christmas, it feels like a white Christmas to me.
Will anyone in the U.S. get a white Christmas this year?
Oh, yeah. There'll be some places across the north already. The mountains in the Rockies and in the Northeast, they're going to be set in here for, a good white Christmas. There is a snow drought going on in parts of Central Rockies. Some places that normally have snow on the ground do not have it yet. But as we get closer to Christmas, they should get some snow there.
Do you expect that any of the weather that they might see would be extreme enough to create disruptions to holiday travel?
Yeah, I think so. If you're traveling to the major hubs like in Los Angeles or San Francisco near the holiday time period, they're going to see multiple systems in that direction. So there's going to be delays and maybe some cancellations in that direction. And a few weak systems coming across the Great Lakes in the Northeast. Maybe some of the big hubs may have some minor delays, volume combined with some weather. But all in all, I think most of the South and Southeast is looking fine.
Well, and it sounds like there could actually be a warm up for Christmas, for example, for us here in St. Louis and to the South. What's happening there?
Yeah, there's some places in Illinois that have a lot of snow on the ground still from recent storms, but unfortunately that's probably going to be gone away by the time we get to Christmas. In fact, with the rain coming in the short term, and then, we're close to 60 here today, and then maybe next week, right around Christmas, we could be close to 70 degrees. So, I mean, it's a mild, balmy type of Christmas week coming up for the plains into the mid-Mississippi Valley and Tennessee Valley as well.
Describe the kind of system that's bringing that in.
Well, it's basically an area of high pressure that's building aloft. And the reason why it's building aloft is because of all the storminess coming in off the West Coast. So as more storminess comes in there, the air is going up into the atmosphere and then coming back down over the plains. And subsiding air generally brings you drier and warmer weather. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Now, we did have an early blast of winter for a lot of us. I think it caught some people off guard. What system brought that in?
Well, yeah, we went through a situation starting in late November. We got our first snow event, and the entire polar jet stream came southward and set the tone here for a busy storm track right over our area. So a lot of our storms coming in from the west direction. We had two systems. We've had over 10 inches of snow for the season right now, which is pretty impressive. That pattern has kind of faded away and retreated back north now. So I don't think we're going to see much in the way of snow between now and Christmas at this point, especially with the temperatures that we're going to be seeing.
Now, obviously, as we mentioned, you are the lead long-range expert there at AccuWeather. So take us through Christmas and New Year's and on into the new year. What are we expecting for weather?
Well, I think for most of December, it's going to be above average temperatures. And the systems that do come in don't have a lot of moisture with them. We'll be moisture starved. So I don't see a whole lot of precipitation in our forecast here in the St. Louis area. Until we get closer to New Year's, some of the systems in the west will eventually start to come out, and will be these up and down. We're not going to be warm all the time. There'll be some cool downs behind these weak systems that do come through. And I just don't see a whole lot of snow in our forecast here the rest of December. Maybe towards New Year's, there's a chance that we get cold enough that one system could get us there with a little snow or ice. But other than that, I think we're fine all the way through the end of the year into the start of the new year.
What about temperatures as we head into, for example, the later January and February?
Well, later in January and February, there could be another big change that takes place, something similar that we saw in late November and early December. We could see the polar jet stream diving southward on us again. It could get pretty for a period. This is based on research and some of the longer range models that we've seen coming together to show some type of change later in the month. And we're kind of in the middle of that. And that's what's concerning me, that we could take a nosedive temperature-wise to well below average for a while in late January, early February. preceded maybe by a snow event. So we'll see how that works out.
Overall, Paul, are we still within the margins of the modeling that we had heading into winter?
Yeah, nothing has changed, actually. I think things are still looking pretty good. We got a little more snow than we expected on the front side, but we did think, and we kind of stressed this from the Midwest, mid-Mississippi Valley to the Northeast, that December was going to be a busier month as far as some snow and cold this year compared to other years, and that has worked out pretty good.
Okay, so we are looking for a warm Christmas instead of a white Christmas here in St. Louis then.
Unfortunately for the folks and the kids out there. But as adults, we don't like to travel in this. So now we're, kind of anti-snow. But I know a lot of the kids wanted to see some snow.
Well, Paul, thank you. Really appreciate your time this morning.
You're welcome.
That is AccuWeather lead long-range expert Paul Pastelok joining us this morning here on KMOX.
We will discuss the president's end-of-the-year speech and the state of the country right now. Mike Elam is sitting in on the show today with me, Chris Ranji. We'll get Major Garrett's thoughts. And the baseball offseason continues, and City SC has a new head coach. We're going to discuss all of that and more with Matt Pauley. This is the Chris and Amy Show next on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Bills Happen.
Numerous studies over the years have said that